hands down, and I think, John, that's a huge one for the Bulls, but I expect Smits to come out harder.
Well, you're right. The last 6 playoff games Smits had, he was either plus 20 or below 10, and Luke held him down to 10, below 10 with a lot of good help from his teammates.
Eric Collins is standing by. What's up, Eric?
Yeah, Tom, I just talked to Larry Bird a couple of moments ago, and he says Jalen Rose for the Pacers could have a huge night of importance for the Pacers coming off the bench. He's 6'8". He handles the ball real well, and he's a good passer. Jalen Rose may be asked to try and help the Pacers get into their offense a little bit more quickly than they did in game number 1. He'll be a big factor tonight, quite possibly. Tom, back to you.
So it's the Chicago Bulls against the Indiana Pacers. And when you think about that matchup, you think about, obviously, the head coach for the Indiana Pacers, Larry Legend, and he looks over glancingly at his main opposition, Michael Jordan.
Chicago Bulls playoff basketball is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet dealers, people you can trust when you're looking for a great car value. Discover Card. It pays to discover. Accept it where you see the Nova sign. United Airlines. You deserve a higher level of service. That's why United Airlines is rising. Walgreens, the pharmacy America trusts. Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference. And by Wars, home of the official Chicago Bulls team shop.
Don't forget, yours truly, the Dutchman, will catch you at halftime right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Meanwhile, just moments ago, a very special presentation at the United Center. Michael Jordan receives his 5th NBA MVP trophy from Commissioner David Stern. Bulls basketball, Bulls Pacers coming up next on FSC.
What is it about leather? You need beautiful lines to pull it off. Meet the limited edition Mazda 626. Now in leather. Luxuriously loaded at just $239 a month. It's time to get into leather. Lease a Mazda 626 leather edition for just $239 a month, but only for a limited time.
I need t-shirts in, like, every single color under the rainbow.
It's finally here.
It's summer, you know, let's get the clothes going.
That's what I want to put on. It's just a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and then I get to have fun.
We've got your new summer attitude on sale.
She likes to have me model swimsuits for her as well, so.
I do not. You always need swimsuits. Men always seem to pay attention when you're buying a swimsuit.
Don't forget your rewards card.
Welcome back to the United Center as the Bulls prepare to take on the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look at our Montgomery Ward starting lineup. First of all, for Larry Bird's Pacers, Dale Davis and Chris Mullin, Rik Smits, Reggie Miller, and Mark Jackson is the point guard. For the Bulls, Scottie Pippen and Tony Kukoc. Luke Longley's in the middle, Ron Harper, and Michael Jordan.
Well, the suspense is taken out of it. We didn't know if Dennis Rodman or Kukoc would start.
Right.
Bill kept that quite a secret, but he goes the same way he did Sunday with Tony Kukoc.
Luke Longley talking to Phil Jackson a little bit, getting some final thoughts. MJ doing a little more stretching. Larry Legend, Larry Bird, first season. He did a great job.
Well, he had the honor to be out there yesterday with Michael when he got the Most Valuable Player Award, the 5th time. Bill Russell, a 5-time MVP, presented it to him. It was kind of neat to see these guys on the same level, and maybe this guy can get it in the playoffs. And a good game. And a final salute to Michael this year for us.
Absolutely. You know, this has really worked. I think we ought to bottle this stuff and sell it. What do you think?
Got
it. You are such a good guy. You know that. Our officials for the ball game tonight, Joe Forty, Jim Clark, and yes, Bulls fans, Hugh Hollins is in the United Center. Reggie Miller, we'll see if Reggie will try and take a bow. Season and playoffs, you see two teams almost exactly the same. Indiana just down 1 percentage point. Jackson has the tap, and there's Scottie on him. Left side of your screen. Reggie Miller goes to Dale Davis. Rik Smits steps out. And that's a guy, I think Rik Smits, it would be my guess that he will try to be much more aggressive with the screens and on offense as well. Davis with the offensive rebound gets it back to Jackson. Reggie, a long three. And Luke Longley pulls that one in.
They did. They tried to set up offensively Mark Jackson on the first play. They want to run through Scottie if they can.
Tony gives it back to Michael. Goes around Smits, top of the circle jumper, and Dale Davis with a rebound. Mullen, nice ball fake. And he hits the first shot of the game. So let the record show the Pacers. 2-0 lead. Beautiful move by Scottie. Comes inside. Got pushed out of bounds. And there'll be a foul on Rik Smits.
Scottie drove through, sort of hesitated, and looked at the official. What's going on? And finally gets it. Now watch him. He gets hit, and he says, "What is this foul?" And now finally he pushes him out of bounds.
Harper with Jackson on him. Now Longley steps away. Try and pull Rik Smits outside. Luke. Oh, great move. It just wouldn't fall. Luke brushed his man off like a guard does off of a screen. Just couldn't finish it off. Jackson to the basket. Nope. Tony with a rebound. Gets it out to Ron Harper. Michael's on the weak side. And he's got it. Goes right by Mullen, and Mullen will be called for the hold. He got him on a hand check. Good foul by Chris Mullen.
Yeah, he had him up in the air. And well, I'll tell you, they just missed Luke Longley on a slam dunk alley-oop play. Scottie found him here, and he hit the front of the rim with the ball. Didn't get it over the top.
Pacers still the only team to score a minute and a half into the first period. MJ turnaround. Nope. Gives it back to Scottie. Pip. Leaner from 15, and it just does hang out.
I'll tell you, it took all the willpower for Luke not to go up and tap that in as it was hanging out. He pulled his hand back.
Looked like about an 8-iron from you, John, that hangs on and finally goes down. Reggie Miller pops on top. Shot clock at 7, and they're just really getting into their offense. And this was a problem they had in game 1. Davis blocked by Tony. Fox Sports Chicago like to welcome our affiliate Chicago Cable and the viewers in downtown Chicago.
2 seconds on the clock. Tony with a nice block on a play. They'll put it in. Mullen will trigger it with 2 seconds to play.
Watch Smits here. Smits likes to step out.
Tony got hit in the face on that block shot, and he's still wiping his eyes out, but he touched the ball. Then it just raised a little bit, came to Rik Smits, and he couldn't quite handle it. Tony got a little mouse under his left eye. So see if that's his dominant eye, you know, like when you line that putt up for the find your dominant eye. Gotcha. We know his dominant hand is right.
Scottie, nice fake, up and under, no rebound loose, and Smits comes in with it. Still 2-2. Mullen with the fake. Oh, Scottie came over and helped out in a foul call. Foul is called on Scottie, but John, Scottie guarding Mark Jackson allows him to help out, and this is a big part of the defense.
Yeah, Scottie floated right in here trying to pick the ball out.
Nice job by our photographers from 3-0 Video. Guys, great camera. Jackson behind the back to Miller. Steps out and missed it. Right there, one-handed it, he got fouled.
Oh, you get him to step back and miss that shot. Nobody blocked out underneath. And again, maybe they think that Rodman is in the game. He's not under. He steps back behind the three, takes a tough three-point shot off the rim. There's the big Dutchman up. Looks like Tony got him on the hand.
You got to block him out.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds easy to say now that the play is over, but he's the type of guy that when he gets near the basket at 7'4" with some pretty good arms, very difficult to defend inside.
Congratulations to Rich Ducalo, the Illinois State Amateur Champion. Hung around with his dad, Duke, when I was a kid. Congratulations to you, Rich.
Miller Genuine Draft Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic is August 1st and 2nd at Grant Park. Check the Tribune for an entry form or pick one up in a Sport Mart store. Call 312-455-4000 for more intro. Sponsored in part by the Tribune, Coca-Cola, Annex Level, and Sport Mart. Dale Davis with the rebound. Gets it to Jackson ahead to Mullen. Mullen drives inside. Oh, that's a beautiful move. And John, I think he does that as well as anybody.
That's more points than he got Sunday. Harper comes down with the ball, fires it off the tip.
Scottie will take the three from the right side. In and out.
Bulls starting out here like they did Sunday. Number 6, Pacers only 7.
MJ picked it off. Hart, see if he sees Scottie with the lob, takes the shot. That's not a bad shot. He had Luke and Scottie right there for the rebound.
Right, I thought he was going to flip it up too, so Scottie could hammer it home. But it was a nice little kind of quick jump shot.
Mark Jackson on the right side. Another part of the defense that wasn't talked a lot about was Ron Harper on Reggie Miller. And again, you can play those passing lanes and deny as Jackson hits the jumper on the right side. Bulls switched defensively as they came back, and Tony Kukoc ended up on Mark Jackson, and Tony can't handle the pass. It'll go out of bounds. 8-4. Pacers with a lead. 8 minutes and 4 seconds left here in the first. The three. Smits goes inside the jump hook, and see, that's the guy. I really thought if somebody was going to come out more aggressive, and we already talked about it, was Rik Smits. I thought he would really try and dominate early. And a blocking foul on Dale Davis. Phil up talking about what Smits is doing offensively.
Yeah, it looked like Tony was able to get around in front, and Smith sort of warded him off with the left. Now watch this. Here's what he does. He pushes him off, and that's what Phil was hollering.
Michael comes off the screen. Luke, oh, nice move, Luke. That's beautiful.
And that's the way you got to finish that shot. Sunday went up with 3 of them and missed it, and this, he tried that alley-oop and hit the bottom of the rim.
10-6 now.
Offensive foul. Let's see if it's on Mullen or who is it on down there.
Yep, it's on Chris Mullen.
Well, take a look at our ComEd power cam, and you talk about a power shot. Boom. Smits just gave up on that, didn't he, once he went across the line?
Luke made that little crossover, and as soon as that happened, Smits just quit. MJ, nice fake, comes inside double, pumps underneath, the rebound tapped, and Rik Smits comes up with it.
Don't leave Miller alone. Look at Miller.
Davis missed it, but Luke got him on the arm. That's foul on Luke. And we got a timeout, 6:52 left in the first, and the Pacers lead the Bulls here early at the United Center in Chicago, 10-6. Pacers lead at 10-6 early. The Chicago Bulls Portrait of an Era commemorative book is the only authorized collection of close-up portraits of your 5-time world champs. Capture the memories of this historic team in this never-before-published pictorial book. To order, call 1-800-453-3800. Eric Collins is standing by. What's shaking, Eric?
Yeah, guys, the big story in game number 1, at least one of them for the Bulls, was the defense that Scottie Pippen laid on the Pacers. Well, Scottie wasn't exactly thrilled with his overall game. He wasn't happy with his shooting, just 4 points on 1 of 9 from the field. So Scottie did something that he virtually never does. Before the game, Scottie was out here working out, taking a lot of shots, just trying to get his form back here in the United Center. Scottie wants to improve that offense. Hopefully it'll work out. Guys, back to you.
Well, he was 1 for 9 Sunday, as you mentioned, Eric. He's 1 for 3 tonight. So he can miss 6 more shots and be better than he's even as he goes.
You played against this gentleman, didn't you?
Bill Russell, yes, I did, many, many years. And we never got out of the conference finals when he came in the league. It was great. Dale Davis to shoot a couple free throws, and christening last Sunday, Megan Habal, congratulations, and Megan Kerr, first communion, while her grandmother, Mary Schlickman, had a happy birthday. So take care of a little of that. Dale Davis knocks a free throw down. Rebounding time to 8-2 on the boards. And Dennis not in there, of course, at this time. All of his shots have gone in. And Dale Davis makes a couple free throws.
The rebound statistic, there it is, 8-2. Indiana with the lead. Bulls trying to get something rolling. Pacers have doubled them early, 12-6. Tony goes on top for Pip. Luke Nice delivery as the ball is deflected out. Mullen had turned his head, and as soon as he did, Luke saw the opening and delivered the basketball.
Mullen was able to get his hand on to block it from Scottie. So 9 seconds.
Scottie with it on the wing, steps back, takes the jumper. And Rik Smits goes high to pull down the rebound.
5 rebounds for Smits.
Scottie's inching up that way. He's 1 of 5. Jackson. Mullen. Long deuce. Nope. And Luke Longley with a rebound. Bulls had switched up again coming up the floor. Michael had Reggie Miller that time. Ran into Smits, who set a really good screen. Tony right side.
Just look at a sink.
Tough shot by Tony. And Scottie had the rebound knocked away. It'll be Bulls ball as Rik Smits knocked it.
They just look out of sync offensively. They're going around the perimeter and not doing what they did so well in the third quarter, sending that slash to the basket.
Luke got it in. The left hand. Down.
Thank you very much, Dale Davis. I don't think that was going in. It looked like a shot hard off the iron, but the Bulls. Let's take a ComEd power cam look at it. Here he goes up. Now watch. It hits the ball. It hits the glass, and that's how
MJ knocked it out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana. The Bulls double team. Tony Kukoc came up. They tried to find Mullen, and Michael almost got that ball. There's the tap again. Bulls centers did a great job of stealing the basketball on Sunday. It's loose inside. Still loose. And Michael comes up with it. Here come the Bulls. Scottie, quick lob inside to Tony for the jumper, counted in the foul on Rik Smits. He's picked up his second personal foul.
beautiful play ahead. I'll tell you what, some good pressure by Luke Longley down there to go out. Now to scrum. Who's got the ball? Well, watch this fancy move by Michael Jordan. Now he comes down and take a look. He sees Luke underneath. Pip gets the ball, comes down. Tony gets it, and Smits fouls him. Nice bit of movement of the ball. Defensively, the Bulls look like they're right where they were Sunday.
Wally Blaze has just left, the Bulls assistant trainer, and I think his job is to go get Dennis, who I believe is in the Bulls locker room. So Dennis, Wally's on his way. I'm sure you're watching. Get ready to come out and check in. Dale Davis goes on top to Jackson. He was right. He's running the touchdown in Sunday's game. Mullen having all kinds of problems with the Bulls defenders. Larry Bird wanted a foul called as Mark Jackson moves inside. Delivers it to Dale Davis. Missed that, but got a foul on Luke. Yep. That's his second personal.
Mark Jackson turning around. He finds Davis underneath. Davis takes a spin, gets the foul. Good vision by Jackson. How could he find that guy underneath?
That was a great pass.
So the two big centers, each with fouls, and Dale Davis looking like Chris Mullen shooting those free throws.
Really? Okay. 13-10, Pacers what?
3 for 3 is mattering. Oh, look at this. Nobody blocked the man out in the middle. He comes right off.
Dale Davis, 3 points, 4 rebounds. Antonio Davis is here. Here comes Dennis as promised. Michael turns and looks right up and finger and traveling in the backcourt, a turnover, Bulls ball, and here comes
Find him. They couldn't find him for 2 days after he beats Charlotte. All right. He gets a nice hand. Luke will sit down as they go with Antonio Davis. The Bulls combat with Dennis Rodman. 15-12, and here comes Derek.
6-2 already. He comes in, and Chris Mullen will leave.
So they go a little bit taller and a little better rebounders, but not as good long distance shooters.
And not as good a ball. Well, McKee's a good ball handler, but Mullen's really good. Scottie, nice fade away. Tried to go off the glass and just missed it wide right. Look at him defensively. Right there on Mark Jackson. Antonio Davis trying to get position down low. It's Dennis and Scottie right there. And see, that's the key right there. Scottie can go help and then get back to Mark Jackson. And there he is again. And a foul.
Dennis gets the foul.
Yeah. See if you see it here, Reds.
He didn't move his feet, did he?
Nope. Nope, he did not.
They showed it on the big board above and right down here. He just tripped. He put his foot right back in.
The Miller Genuine Draft Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic is August 1st and 2nd at Grant Park. Check the Tribune for an entry form or pick one up at any Sport Mart store. Call 312-455-4000 for more information. Shoot the Bull sponsored in part by Hoffman Estates Medical Center, Sport Mart, and AT&T. 17-12. Pacers with the lead. Harper picked up his dribble up high. He bumped into Tony Dennis off the basket. Dennis was an offensive threat in that first game. Antonio Davis, a little out of his range, but he hits it.
That's the way that game was in that first quarter. The Bulls couldn't get it together offensively. They've got to figure out something. They're 6 out of 17 from the field, and
Bill Winnington gets up off the bench.
Look good.
Harp goes on top. Tony for three.
There you go. Tony opens it up with a three.
That's $50 to charitables from Carex Muffler and Bright.
That's the first three-point field goal for the Bulls in this series. They're both for 6.
Mark Jackson came off the screen, gave it right back to Davis. And Tony Kukoc timed it a little bit better than Dale Davis did. This is their small lineup that they're very good with. Tony just hit a three. He's trying 2 in a row, and that was off to the left, and Reggie Miller with the rebound.
Oh, nobody there. Nobody there. He made the reverse move on Scottie, and there was no help.
And now the Bulls throw it away. It's tapped out. We've got a timeout on the floor. 2 minutes, 46 seconds left in the first. And much like game 1, the Pacers with the lead here, 21.
Conference calls.
Chicago Bulls playoff basketball is brought to you in part by Acura, the true definition of luxury. Yours, Payne Weber. When you invest with Payne Weber, you invest with more intelligence. And by Walgreens, the pharmacy America trusts.
Beautiful shot of the greatest city in the world, downtown Chicago. Pacers lead this one 21-15. John, does this game remind you of anything?
A little bit of that game Sunday, yes, sir. Almost. It's 22-16 at the first quarter, but look at this. 26 Indiana turnovers resulted in 27 Chicago points, 14 points off the break. Free throws, the Bulls were pretty good. They were 64%. And steals, Jordan 5, Pippen 4. Indiana 6 of their last 8 field goals after they started out, only 1 of 6.
That's not bad, huh? 104 wins, 36 losses. That was nice. He walked through right in front of us, and then he came over and said thanks for all our friendship and work, and that was nice. He's good. McKee comes out on the switch. Dennis gives it right back to Scottie. They'll double team him. Pip out to Harp. This is a very quick defensive team to the floor for Indiana, and Ron Harper bangs it home.
They can't forget about Ron Harper. He came up with 15 points Sunday. Did a good job on Reggie Miller.
Jackson drives and finds Antonio Davis, and he got it and is fouled by Bill Winnington.
There's no help behind Scottie now. Antonio Davis comes right on in, getting the night. He just stood there, didn't even know what was going on. Bill Winnington commits the foul. So the Bulls defense is sort of going to pop here.
Davis with a free throw hits that.
7 points for him. He's the leader in the game. He's off the bench and
do something. Rebound, play defense, pass the ball. He has shot the ball very well and been aggressive. Quick pass inside. Good pass. MJ with the fakes, had it knocked away and a foul called.
McKee.
MJ will go to the free throw line. Johnny, the Davis boys on Sunday did a terrific job. 10 points for Dale, 12 for Antonio, 5 of 6 and 3 of 3, 19 rebounds and 22 points. Today they're doing the same thing. Dale Davis with 5 points and 5 rebounds. Antonio Davis 7 points already.
3 out of 5, yeah, for them.
And It's a big contribution from your power forward spot when Rik Smits is your center.
Well, you know, the last time they came into Chicago, they played with Rik Smits coming off the bench. And we thought that was a much better situation than him starting. Double. See it over to
had
top,
a chance. Yeah. Jalen Rose into the ball game as McKee goes by Wennington. Good help by Ron Harper. Rose goes to the basket and lays it in.
Soft.
You've got to cut that off.
Soft.
Free throws. Indiana 8 of 9. The Bulls 2 of 3. So Indiana doing exactly what they've got to do. It's 26-19.
Bulls perimeter was okay, the defense that time, and then all of a sudden they just gave them the easy.
MJ inside will go to the line. He almost got another one.
Antonio Davis.
Reggie Miller complaining about that call.
Points off the bench, none for the Bulls. That one's off the back of the rim.
See what Reggie has to complain about. Yeah. First in playoff history. Tries to bring it up with Michael right there defensively.
That may be what they'll do. Have Rose bring it up and then give it to Jackson. Pitt with the steal.
Michael running hard with Rose bumping him. Scottie off the glass and good.
Tough movement. Tough shot. His motion taking him straight on into the basket. Got a pull to a stop.
Jackson goes into the corner for Jalen Rose. Rose tries to drive. Michael cut him off. 10 in the shot clock. Look at Scottie coming to help. MJ knocks it away. Scottie comes up with it. He's got Harp on the right. Harp takes it down. Double pump off the glass and good. The Bulls are all of a sudden running, and it all starts with defense.
Absolutely. And what they do is they hit you with spots. Boom. 6 spots. 8 spots.
A long two, not a 3, a long 2. Mark Jackson with the basket. He's got 6 points. 28-24, and that's what's left in the first period. The shot clock is off. Going to step up. Nope, he goes out of the way. They'll let Michael and Reggie go one-on-one. MJ fakes, fires.
Yes! Off the glass, 1.8. He never lets you too much on that clock.
Throw it up the floor. Harper's got it, and it's knocked away with 0.2 of a second left. Indiana ball, they say.
I thought they fouled Harper.
Now Hugh Hollins wants to. Oh, he just wanted to throw it, give the ball to Indiana to throw it inbounds. 0.2, John.
You can't catch, you can't tap, you can't do anything. All you can do is say, let's move on to the second quarter, but the Pacers leading by 2.
We've played one period here at the beautiful United Center in Chicago. The Bulls defense spurred a great rally down the stretch. And after one, it's a 28-26 Indiana lead over the world champion Chicago Bulls. Welcome back to the United Center. Indiana 10 of 17. Bulls made one more, 11 of 23. Free throws all Indiana. 8 made to 3 for the Bulls, but turnovers and points off. It's the same story as it was game 1, and a lot of that, John, is the defense of Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen has got a tough job out there playing a point guard, but here that big long wingspan, he picks the ball off. Jackson goes back defensively. Scottie comes up, pulls to a stop, jumps that ball in, and the Bulls defense, yes. Here's Jalen Rose trying to go up with a shot. Michael Jordan comes here with the steal. Harper up, under, and around. Nice job.
We are at the beautiful United Center in Chicago as tonight the Chicago Bulls take on the Indiana Pacers. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. My partners Eric Collins and Johnny Cura. My name is Tom Dorr. It is a real pleasure to be here. Scottie Scottie with a quick three off the rim. Dennis tapped it up and in.
His first rebound, his first points. The first points off the bench for the Bulls.
Now the Bulls are tied. Travis Best comes in. So does Randy Brown for the Bulls. MJ gets a break. Ron Harper still shadowing Reggie Miller. Rose goes inside Miller around. Nope. And Ron Harper with the rebound. Bulls with a chance to take the lead. Randy Brown finds Scottie.
Oh, Rose just gave him a little forearm.
Rose picks up his first. Mark Pope checks into the ball game. Reggie Miller comes out. 0 for 4 for Reggie. No points. A rebound and an assist.
That was Ron Harper working on him.
Yep.
Talk about Scottie and Michael's defense and Dennis's defense, but
Pip wants it, has it down low with Rose on him.
Rose looking for the offensive foul.
Ball knocked loose. Scottie wants it back. He really wants the ball. Rose with a great job again, and then he knocks over Randy Brown.
That was unjust. He did a good job on Scottie, twice pushing the ball away, and then he falls over the top of Brown. Good job. He steals it, and then his momentum carries him in. Well, you didn't give him any room at all. He's bumping Scottie all over now.
Antonio Davis got him as he rode through the lane.
Well, you heard the story. They said he's got to be physical. Hope he threw it right off of
Scottie's feet. Best gets it ahead to Antonio Davis. Blocked by Harper. How about the block by Ron Harper?
Beautiful.
Randy Brown.
Oh, he just gripped
behind the back to Scottie. No, but a foul called. What a great play by the Bulls. And again, it all comes from the defensive end.
Absolutely. Ronnie Harper comes out of nowhere here to help Tony Kukoc defend. Here, look at this. Up Harp goes, slaps the ball away. The Bulls come on down. Here's another look at it. Now, if that ball hits the glass, it's goaltending. He gets it before it gets there, and Travis Best commits the foul. Scottie Pippen knocks the first free throw down.
Scott Burrell comes in. Ron Harper will get a break. Harp checks out. 48 block shots, 5th among guards.
Everybody comes down to give him a high five for the job he did. He's got to sit down a little bit because when Reggie Miller comes back, it'll be time for Ronnie to get that game back together.
Yeah, and you want his legs to be as fresh as they can be as Scottie hits the free throws. 30-28 now, Bulls with the lead, John.
Yep, Bulls come out here with 4 quick points, captained by Dennis Rodman, 2 free throws.
Holding foul on Tony. Yep, that's it. Holding.
First on the Bulls.
And Hugh Hollins is pointing his finger talking to Tony. Fresh shot clock for the Pacers. Rose with Burrell on him. Lost it, got it back. Picked up his dribble inside. And a beautiful move by Derek McKee. Boy, that was great. Around the basket, used the basket as an extra screen, and drops it in.
They just take that screen. Offensive foul on Dennis. You got to be looking again. But Dennis picks up his second.
We got a timeout on the floor. 9:47 left in the first half. And the Chicago Bulls and the Indiana Pacers are tied at 30.
All right, game room time. Fox Sports Chicago. How you doing, everybody? I'm Chet Cobbey.
Boy, I don't know about you guys, but I can't stand Chet Cobbey.
Oh, man, he's the worst. Look at those suspenders.
The big rock candy mountain, how you...
They are plus 500.
Give it to him.
Doing it!
Right there. You'd think they would find some... I mean, anybody would be better than Chet.
I never met the guy, but I bet he's a real... Hey there, Spencer.
Thank you.
We like to have people come over for barbecues.
King of the barbecue.
You've waited all year for this.
And our house is kind of small, so we like to entertain outside.
And right now, the best stuff for summer's on sale.
I cut the grass.
He does it with scissors.
Save Save on all lawnmowers, all tractors.
I could drive that right down to the golf course.
Plus, save on all appliances.
Yeah, we're in need of a major appliance here.
Getting hungry.
Sale on Saturday. You are my sunshine.
Go for it, Ben. Come on, superstar. Let's hear it.
The Chevy Blazer. A little security in an insecure world.
Wow.
Now choose low 1.9% APR financing or $1,000 cash back on Chevy Blazer. See your dealer today.
They'll set the screen for Jordan. Can't get it to him. Now he's got it. Right side. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's fly. Sunday! Yeah, it's Sunday! Bulls win again! One of these games you're going to get excited. You know it? I don't know when, but you will.
You know, Chet asked us before.
Favorite moment.
Our favorite moment of the year, and I'll tell you, there's so many of them, and he's done that so many times.
At an upcoming home playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls car flag. Compliments of ComEd. Travis Best with Randy Brown on him.
You got Jed Bushler in the game now, and you got Mark Pope.
Rose looks inside from McKee. Best free. And Scott Burrell went for it. It was loose, and Rose comes up with it. Goes inside. Davis lays it in. Well, wait a minute. No. McKee with the basket. Dennis Rodman has picked up the foul.
That's his third of it is. Here comes Dickie Simpkins quickly. So Dennis Rodman is 1 for 2 from the field, 2 rebounds.
And Dennis gave him a little bump. Boom. And Dennis will come out. And that is a loss for the Bulls, obviously.
Yeah. This is a time you have to be closest, get ahead a little bit when you've got all your reserves taking up this time in this period.
Well, the guy that usually shines at a time like this is the guy with the ball right now. He'll do something that'll really help you. He'll get a loose ball, tap one to somebody, make a three, something like that. Of course, he does that. Dickie Simpkins cut. And that kind of was a bailout for the Bulls with 1 on the shot clock.
And if you remember, in the game Sunday, Derek McKee picked up 3 quick fouls. And you're right, he was just trying to beat the clock.
Michael Jordan up off the Bulls bench as Chris Mullen got up. Jalen Rose comes out. Michael comes in. Scottie Pippen will get a break. So Pip comes out with 9 minutes left.
Go small here. They go small, so let's see what happens. It's small ball.
With it in the corner. Simpkins will go set the screen. Randy Brown. Burrell for 3. Derek McKee with the rebound. We're tied at 30. Coming up on 8.5 left in the first half. Mullen had it blocked. How about that good defense by the Bulls? So this reserve line with Michael continues to play that aggressive defense. MJ crossover. Oh, got it. Banged by McKee.
That's their 5th foul, so take a look as Mullen looks like he's going to try a shot or something here. You're trying to get the ball off for a pass, but Burrell comes in to block it, intercepted, and now Michael comes to shoot a couple free throws here on the set. Judy Nahhouse is here from Longboat Key, Florida. Her first trip to United Center. I said, how are you enjoying it? She says, how nice.
It's a beautiful place.
Michael with 8 points.
MJ's second goes in. Antonio Davis will bring it across the top. halftime line. Bulls lead it by 2. Posts up down low. Michael on him. Backs his way in. Continues to back it up. And Michael right there for the rebound. Randy pushes it up the court. Quick jumper. Randy. Nope. Hope right there with a rebound. Oh. Randy Brown and Antonio Davis go flying. And hold on.
Technical foul
on Randy. And Antonio Davis goes over and gets in his face. Now, I thought something happened before that. I thought Antonio, as they fell over here, I thought Antonio kind of went at Randy just a little bit.
Well, we didn't see what happened, but both of them collided and went down. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Down they go.
Yeah, he knocked him down.
Yeah. Take a look. He knocked Randy Brown down. Okay, then we see this. He stepped on him and ran over the top of him, but
Rik Smits
he just knocked him down. Why didn't they see the knockdown?
You know, John, how often do they not see the first thing? They see the retaliation.
It's easy to see a pylon. You know, I mean,
yeah.
But Rik Smits in the game.
Luke comes back to the Bulls. Bulls lead it by 1. Best comes off the screen, gets to McKee for 3. Eric McKee from the left corner with a 3-pointer. So the Pacers have the lead right back to the Bulls, 34-32. Reggie Miller gets set to check back. MJ tried to make another 3 or make a 3 to answer. Scott Burrell with the offensive rebound. Just one too many passes, I think, John. I think Luke had a shot. Here comes Reggie.
We got a timeout coming, I think.
Dale Davis comes back, and there's the timeout. 7:06 left in the first half. And on that 3, the Indiana Pacers lead the Chicago Bulls 34-32.
Welcome back to the United Center here in Chicago. We're here with the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. David, today, for the 5th time in 10 years, you handed over an MVP trophy to Michael Jordan. Did you ever get a chance to talk to Michael and tell him exactly what he's meant to this league?
I get a chance to talk to him a lot, and we have very nice conversations. And most of all, I want him to stay healthy, appreciate what he's done for us and for himself, and to maybe play a little bit longer.
Did you ever get a chance to talk to him about playing a little longer?
Always. No opportunity passes where I don't talk to him about it.
And Michael says?
Well, I don't want to discuss how I beg. It wouldn't be dignified.
Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. That's David Stern. Let's go to the commissioners of broadcasting, Red Kerr and Tom Dorr.
That was good, huh?
He begs him with nice.
Good comments from the commission. Nice job, Eric. MJ gets the inbound pass. He's out there with Steve Kerr. Fadeaway jumper. Michael in and out. Luke tapped it. And then Travis Pest comes up with a rebound. He's just 5'11", but he got that good.
Almost everybody back in starting lineups except Kerr and Best. Pippen is now over on Red.
So that may be one of the changes that they made to get Scottie off the ball handler. McKee with the long deuce. And Scottie Pippen comes down with a rebound, pitches it ahead to Tony. Kukoc tries to go by Dale Davis. Fakes. Finds Scottie. Shot clock at 10. Big Lou. Right back to Pip off the screen. Luke with 2 on the shot clock underneath. And again, Travis Pest right there for the rebound. I've got to finish this. 34-32, Indiana with the lead. Scottie knocked it away. Great defense denying Rik Smits the ball. And McKee hits again from the baseline. John, all of a sudden, Derek McKee is becoming a factor in the game.
16-2 off the bench. And Derek McKee with 7 points in this quarter.
Scottie got it back and a holding call.
McKee.
come back. See if McKee will come out. Yep, McKee will come out. And John, that's a nice thing for the Bulls because he was a real thorn in their side.
Yeah. Pip now with 7 points. He ended up in 40 minutes, 1 of 9, as we mentioned, 2 for 4 from the free throw line, with only 4 points. He double that correction.
36-34. Right inside.
Right over the top.
Yeah.
Two players right over the top. Did they give it to? Did they give it to?
I don't know. We will find out. Steve Kerr, the best right there on there. Finds Michael. Indiana playing very aggressive defense now. Tony finds Steve Kerr. Quick jump for Steve Kerr. Just off. MJ tapped it when Reggie Miller came up with it. Miller stops, fires a three, and hits.
On the fast break, and that's all he needs to get started. Their bench is up, really getting them going. That's Reggie's first points, and he comes down, gets it that way on a fast break. Total struggle, offensively struggling.
Tony in the lane, underneath, missed it. Rebound tapped up, and a foul against Michael. Genuine Draft Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic is August 1st and 2nd at Grant Park. Check the Chicago Tribune for an entry form or pick one up at a Sport Mart store. 312-455-4000 will get you more information. The Shoot the Bull sponsored in part by the Chicago Tribune, Annex Level Sportswear, Hoffman Estates Med Center, and AT&T. Here's Mullen. Tony goes right there. Mullen will take the jumper, and I think Tony got him on the arm.
The top free throw shooter in the league goes to the line, shoot a couple. Bulls are 0 for 7 in the field. Started out with a nice tip-in by Dennis Rodman, then it's been all free throws. 6 free throws by the Bulls, 4 by Pippen, 2 by Jordan.
Ron Harper comes back, fresh off that great block, got a little break. Tony Kukoc will check out. Missed many of these, does he, John?
No.
Indiana's got a nice little run going, and the Bulls will try and get an answer. Michael comes off the screen. Kerr inside for Scottie. Backs in, jump. Hook good for Scottie Pippen. And look at Scottie right there defensively. He is really wanting to get after somebody. He wants to double team best. Dale Davis finds Smits inside. He missed it, and Scottie was part of that because Scottie got right in his face. Steve Kerr wanted to get it to Scottie and eventually did. And Best just hurdled Steve on the ground. Michael posts up with Mullen on him. It's an isolation. Michael with a fake. Now takes the jumper and hits from the right side.
So it's been Pip and Michael in this quarter. Bulls down by 5.
Dale Davis comes inside, finds Smits who lays it in. Rik Smits with the basket. And it's 45-38. This period, Indiana 6 of 14. The Bulls 3 of 11. Rik Smits 6 points, 5 rebounds. Did double team, still held on to his dribble. He says, okay. Scottie fouled by Dale Davis, and the crowd says yes.
Scottie will be shooting 2 free throws as Antonio Davis and Mark Jackson come back in the game with 3:02. Smits leads. So they're running fresh players in constantly, and they've all produced. Everybody that's come in there has done a job. Bulls still trying to get some points off the bench. You get none from Burrell, none from Kerr, 2 from Rodman. Wennington was in for a brief time. None for him. Simpkins, Brown, and Bush.
this one. Kerr goes flying.
Offensive foul on him.
Miller, the jumper short. Scottie with the rebound. Ahead. Harp 1 on 5 with a jumper. Milt and Mark Jackson with a rebound. Now the Bulls with the matchup they prefer. Steph Curry's on Mark Jackson.
Get down low.
Harp comes over to help. Chris Mullen and Scottie right there to help again. And the rebound, Steve Kerr. Harp. Underneath from Michael, and the ball was tapped out of bounds. It'll belong to Bulls. 2:14 left in the first half, and the Pacers lead the Bulls 45-39. After tonight's in every game of the 1998 NBA playoffs, even the ones on NBC, go live in the locker room for exclusive interviews and post-game analysis with Norman Jett. The playoffs play on Fox Sports Chicago. Indiana Pacers have gone inside very well against Chicago Bulls here in the first half. Larry Bird talked about his team had to be more aggressive, and they have done it. Rik Smits came out aggressive very early.
Well, the Bulls closed it down Sunday just before halftime to get within 40-36, and then they came on and really put the pressure on. And they're going to try to do that now in the next 2 minutes and 14 seconds.
Scottie gets it inside, backs in, fakes, comes underneath. Nope. Dale Davis high and strong for the rebound. 45-39 Pacers with now 2 minutes left in the first half. Jackson gets it on top to Antonio Davis. Good corner, Mullen runs over.
Good play. Good play.
Offensive foul. You bet.
Mullen just lolling in there. He makes the fake on the play here, and now he starts to just lope in, and there's Ron Harper waiting for him. So Scottie missed a little shot in the lane. Let's see what happens here now with 1:51.
And this is the time, John, when the Bulls did it in game number 1. They came out and really got aggressive defensively as well as offensively. I mean, offensively as well as defensively. Their defense was great. MJ backs it in against Reggie Miller. Oh, the chicken fighting defense Michael did. In the lane, got it. 45-41 now. MJ with 13. Scottie's got 11. Antonio Davis lost it.
Oh, man, they pick it up again. Mullen with a 3. The opportunity, and it really gives them a pickup. Their bench is just standing down there.
Oh, absolutely. Luke up high. Pretty good passing center. Bounces it to Michael. MJ off the glass and good. 48-43 now. Pacers with the lead. Scottie, you can see him. He really wants to come up and give some help. And he recovers very quickly. Jackson with it.
Let's take that little shot over the top.
Antonio Davis from 15 hits. He's made a couple long-range shots, and the Davis boys have just been outstanding. Pip for 3, right side. Scottie just can't buy one. Coming up at halftime on our Chevrolet Dealers Halftime Report, Chet Normal at first half highlights.
11 rebounds more for the Pistons. 2 for 1. Pistons is going to try to get a 3 illegal.
And it's a technical foul inside of 24 seconds.
Well, you give him a point, possession, and you're trying to close this down. So when this guy releases it, it'll be an 8-point lead.
Well, they should have the last possession here.
Mullen, 10 points tonight, 2 in the game. 2. Reggie Miller with only 3.
Jackson. That's what's left in the first half. They're trying to go up by 10 over the Bulls at halftime. Game 1, the Bulls had a great run down the stretch. Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr, keeps the back. Scottie over to help. Quickly dish inside the foul call. Luke Longley called for the hold. Luke picks up his third. Tony's got 3, and Dennis Rodman with 3. So 3 of the big fellas for the Bulls in some foul trouble. Pope comes in. Chris Mullen will leave.
Mark Jackson just backed Steve Kerr down where he wanted. When the help comes now, he just hit the open man. They did not stand. They went to the hole, and Antonio Davis, who has 9 points in the game,
still has 9 points. They're 12 of 14 from the free throw line. Bulls 10 of 13. Rebounds, 25 Indiana rebounds to 14 for the Bulls. They held the Bulls to 17 points in this quarter. 3 seconds left. Michael goes high, saves it. Baseline fade, jumper. Yes, he did it again. 2/10 of a second. That'll do it. Bulls want to know if that was a 3. They thought it was a 3. Tex Winter was sure of it. Joe Forty says, nope, it was not. So 52-45, Pacers with the lead at halftime here at the United Center. Let's go back to our studios one more time. Here's Chet Coppin.
All right, long time. Larry Bird, the Indiana Pacers do show up indeed. They lead by 7 after 24 minutes of play. Welcome to our Chevrolet halftime report. Let's pick it up right off the top with our Ameritech call of the half.
And Michael comes up with it. Here come the Bulls. Scottie, quick lob inside to Tony for the jumper, counted, and the foul on Rik Smits. He's picked up his second personal foul.
Beautiful. Chicago Bulls playoff basketball is brought to you in part by your local Chevrolet dealers, people you can trust when you're looking for a great car value. Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Visit Las Vegas. It's open 24 hours. Taco Bell, introducing Gorditas, the revolutionary taco. Viva Gorditas. Ginsana All-Natural Energizer. Find the energy, feel your Ginsana. The Sports Authority, prepare yourself. And by Budget. Try a Jaguar, Mustang convertible, or other diversions from Budget. Get out of the ordinary.
Playoffs, play on. Fox Sports Chicago.
All right, back we are with the Dutchman, who, by the way, will be appearing on the Oprah Winfrey Show at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, and again at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Bulls down by 7 right now, my friend. Where are they if their defense is not playing nose tough?
Well, I tell you, the offense has staggered a little bit down the stretch run here, and it's also continued this game. That's why I repeated myself. Indiana played great defense themselves in the last game, but not dominant defense like the Bulls. Most of the points that the Bulls got set up from the defensive end. Unless that happens, I don't know the outcome of this game, but I can tell you right now, the Bulls are having an awfully tough time trying to get good shots, and plus the Indians going to the free throw line too.
All right, my friend, let's go to the west side. Prior to the ball game tonight, a very special presentation. Commissioner David Stern was on hand to award Michael Jordan his 5th NBA MVP.
Well, that was beautiful. You can see right here, Chet.
That's a coach killer.
Yeah, anytime you get second shots and things like that. That's what the Bulls eliminated before, but they still have the defense. They're still playing well. They're still shutting off certain people. As you mentioned, Reggie Miller was scoreless first half other than 3 points. But right now, the Bulls are not getting enough of these right here. They've had some look, Chet, but the offense, as far as I'm concerned, is a little off.
Rodman with a tip. The Bulls are hurt by the fact that Rodman draws 3 quick fouls.
Well, the Bulls have a couple people with 3 fouls, so that hurts to begin with. But it looks like, to me, Indiana is coming out looking to run, looking to get the shot quickly up the court. And as soon as they're double-teamed and anything like that, they get rid of the basketball. But the benches come in for Indiana and played a major role while this team is leading right now.
May sound nuts. Right before the break, Jordan, the 15-footer off the baseline. Pacers take a message in at halftime?
I don't think it's a message. I don't think you can deliver a message to the Bulls. I mean, we overhype that, I think, anyway, messages at the same time. Bottom line is the Bulls better find an offense to get some good, consistent shots and then get their shooters in position to get shots. And also, they need to create some fouls themselves by going to the hoop, doing something to create fouls. Right now, I think Indiana has a big positive mode on themselves by way of the defense because they are definitely holding the Bulls down. And that's 2 games in a row. I mean that. Right. 2 games in a row, they have held the Bulls with good defense, because if it wasn't for the defense of the Bulls, might be in trouble.
All right, we continue right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Halftime, Bulls down by 7. We're back in a moment right here with our Chevrolet halftime report. Has it obtained landmark status? Of course it has. Michael Jordan's restaurant over on LaSalle Street, right on the edge of River North here in downtown Chicago. Full house. Wave to everybody, Norm. Wave to him.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hello. Norm's buying. Hang in.
Yeah, send me the bill.
All right, Bird in Indiana right now with a 7-point cushion. If you're Larry, what do you tell the troops about sustaining during the second half?
Well, the main thing is not turning the ball over. That was a big, huge difference with their, approach to this game also. I think you keep handling the ball, keep running up the court, take your shots when you got it, and you feel at this particular time, hey, Miller has got to start hitting shots. So I think that's a plus for Indiana to have this lead and not have Miller involved in the offense right now. But that's what it takes. But once again, the defense by Indiana and that bench has provided, I think, the upbeat that they have right now.
Take a lift out of Derek McKee. We'll catch you after the ball game with Live in the Locker Room. Second half action coming up right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Your score: the Indiana Pacers on top of the world champions by 7, 52-45.
Fox Sports Chicago.
Lead at 52-45. Eric Collins is standing by back in the hallway here at the United Center with Bill Cartwright.
Thanks a lot, guys. Well, Bill Cartwright, awfully similar game to what we saw in Game 1. What did you guys talk about in the locker room? What do you need to do in the second half?
Well, we're getting beat up on the boards, and our bench is, I think right now, outscored 19-2. So we're just going to have to start getting real active. We're going to have to meet their pressure. They're pointing out us. They're being real physical. And we're just going to have to get at them and try to attack them inside and make a defensive stand.
Thanks for stopping by. I know you're a busy man, so take care, Bill. That's Bill Cartwright. Now let's go back to Tom and Red. Guys, take it away.
All right. Here's Payne Weber, first half stats. Field goals, Indiana, 18 of 35, 51%. Bulls made 1 less. Free throws, 13 for Indiana, 10 for the Bulls. 3-pointers. Not a lot of difference there, although Indiana made 2 more. Rebounds, huge difference. 25-14 and 5-2. And bench points, 19-2. Those last 2 categories are the 2 that you just say, wow, that just can't happen.
Well, Michael Jordan has led the ball club with 17 points, and at the end of the second quarter and the end of the first quarter, it's tough to defend this guy. Let's take a look at this package. Here's the end of this is the first quarter. Up it goes in, and he leaves about a second on the clock. And here, he grabs it, fires it. They thought it was a 3. The horn goes off, and Michael's 4 of his 17 points come as buzzer beaters.
We're at the United Center in Chicago as the Chicago Bulls take on the Indiana Pacers. Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals here on Fox Sports Chicago. Playoff records of the 2 teams. Pacers are 7-3, Bulls 8-1. Field goal percentage about the same, a little better for the Indiana. Free throw percentage a little better again for Indiana. 3-point percentage a little better for Indiana. Rebounds better for the Bulls. Assists better for the Bulls.
I was looking at the first round. The Bulls swept the first round, but Utah was 3-2. Miami or New York was 3-2. 3-2 Seattle. I mean, everybody had a tough time in the first round. Right. Now people are taking care of business so far. It's up to the Bulls now. They're down by 7. They were down by 4 Sunday. They came out with a real high energy. Come on, Michael, and that's what they're going to have to try to do. The ball is in the possession of the Bulls.
And we are about set to start the second half of action here at the United Center. The Chicago Bulls trying to go up 2-0. And John, they got to get some points off the bench, and they have got to rebound.
They start Tony again. I thought maybe they'd come out and start Dennis Rodman.
And Tony did not have a very productive first half at all. Harp goes on top for Kukoc. Pip, quick pass inside. MJ bounced it once. High upper is good. That's a tough shot.
Absolutely. The ball was thrown into him. It took so much time coming down, and all kinds of defensive players came over on him.
Jackson with Scottie on him. Scottie told Joe Forty that Jackson grabbed his arm. Fisher said, okay, I'll watch for it. Miller, bump the runner. Blocked by Harp, out of bounds. Shot clock goes off.
24-second violation, that's right.
Bulls ball, wow.
Harp with some defense. He chased him all over, and now Reggie gets in front. See the leg come out to kick Tony? This is what they talked about that Malone does.
Well, you and I
Robinson was talking about. He throws that leg out. He was aiming for Tony so he could pick up 2 free throws.
Hey, John, you and I have talked about Reggie doing that for a while. Moving on to the baseline jumper is good. We've talked about that, 3, 4, 5 years, that he kicks that leg out, kicks you, and then falls down. Bulls put some pressure on as they try and get it inbounds. They do to Rik Smits. And on the pass, they get it ahead to Mark Jackson. Quick pass inside and a foul. Call count the basket as well, Dale Davis.
Pippen got caught down the other end, really putting pressure on Mark Jackson. Then they got it over the top. Luke had to come out to try to stop it, and Dale Davis goes right down the lane.
Miller Genuine Draft Shoot the Bull 3-on-3 Classic is August 1st and 2nd at Grant Park. Check the Tribune for an entry form or pick one up at any participating Sport Mart store. 312-455-4000 gets you more information. Shoot the Bull sponsored in part by Coca-Cola, ComEd, and Sport Mart. Missed him. 54-49, or missed the free throw. 54-49. Tony fakes the 3, steps back. Bulls with no one in the post, so Michael will go in and fill it. Scottie, quick turnaround jumper, back of the rim, and Mark Jackson with a rebound. Miller gets it ahead. Chris Mullen for 3. Michael Jordan with a rebound. So it's not been a beautiful start to the 3rd period. Tough screen. Longley gives it right back. Tony throws one up and almost went in. He'll go to the free throw line for a pair.
He didn't know that was coming back. I mean, he was so wide open. Now watch him. He comes down here. He's open. Now he gets it and gets the foul. That's the 3rd foul on Davis.
Coach hits the first. See Tony just misses that and has not had a very productive game at all. Pacers lead it by 4 with about 2 minutes gone. And look at this. Rik Smits is basically running interference for Mark Jackson as he brings it up the floor. Miller up high with Harp right there defensively. Jackson over the screen by Davis hits. So in the second half, John, they have set 4 or 5 screens now for Mark Jackson, and they've been hard screens on Scottie. Yep, goes down low for MJ. Foul there. Scottie behind the arc, still trying to 3. It hits one. How about that?
Little ping pong between Michael and a steal by Mike.
MJ brings it up the floor, off the glass. No, Scottie right there missed the tap, but the Bulls have possession. Inside for Kukoc, back to Harp, back-to-back 3s. No, that one's short, but Harp with a rebound. Tony for 3, way long. Harper tried to get it, Mark Jackson did. Gets it ahead, Reggie Miller. Reggie missed the layup. Scottie fake takes the charge. Miller lost his balance. Now Michael comes inside, put it up. No, Tony with a rebound off the glass.
What a battle for points by both of these teams on this last possession.
Jackson gets it to Mullen in the corner. And Mullen left wide open for 3. Missed it, but Davis with the rebound. Michael tried to take it away.
That's Reggie. Reggie wide open here.
And a foul called as Rik Smits goes in.
Longley's 4th foul, but he got him before he went airborne with the basket. But Reggie was standing here in front of us, just waving and screaming for the ball. They never could get it to him.
He's still looking at his teammates like, why didn't you do it now? Here comes Bill Wennington. Miller comes off the screen. Scottie right there to help, and Reggie Miller hits it anyway.
Reggie with his 2nd basket.
Jackson up in front of us. Oh, nice pass to Scottie. He faked the shot, and then delivers the ball inside to Pip, who lays it in.
Should be going to the free throw line in that play, too.
Mark Jackson will bring it up the floor against Scottie. And Pip, boy, look at him right there defensively. Tony takes it away. 4 on 3. Kukoc ahead. Ron Harper got fouled hard.
That should
the
be
Bulls
two.
want to do it on the side.
What are they going to do here? Let's take a look. No indication yet, is it?
Mullen with the foul.
Just
2 shots.
Here it is. Tony comes down, gives the ball to Harp. Reggie Miller actually grabbed him. Then he got hit by Mullen. Reggie hit him on the arm. Now Pip, look at his defense here. He's got nowhere to go. He stumbles down. Luke was able to get the big hand up to get the ball.
Derek McKee will check back in. McKee with 3 fouls. As Harp missed the first. McKee comes in, and Chris Mullen will leave. Mullen's got the 4 fouls. Mullen with 11 points. Will sit down. This one is for the tie with 7.5 minutes left. And Harp hits that. We're tied at 58 now. And again, they try and take the ball out of Mark Jackson's hands as Reggie Miller will bring it up the floor. They get it to Jackson. He gets it right back to Miller. Down low, Rik Smits with Wellington on him. Smits very short. Harp with a rebound. Gets it out to Pip. Got 1-3. Nope. Harper with the rebound. And the Bulls with another second chance opportunity. To drive, got held. He'll go to the line for a pair. Well, it's nice to see him more aggressive, John, because what it does is opens other things for everybody else.
Absolutely. Here he takes Davis, gets a little bump, draws the foul. Davis is 4th. Now, the Bulls' biggest lead was 2 in the game. Their biggest lead was 9. The Bulls were able to cut that down and come right after it. Tony drops the free throw.
Antonio Davis will check in, see if the call goes out to Wally Blaze to go get Dennis. Hey, an upcoming playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center receive a Bulls car flag. Compliments of ComEd.
This is why Tony gets a start again the second half. We talked about maybe Dennis coming in, but they thought that he could put some points on the board early, and that's why he started the 2 games. And he didn't have real good he didn't come out of the shoots real good, but now he's done pretty good here in this quarter.
Yeah. 60 to 58, Bulls with the lead. The Bulls come out with full court pressure now. Indiana's got to get it down. Scottie tapped it. I think Smits hit it low.
I was wrong.
Hugh Holland should say
my
fault. Bulls ball. He did.
Yes, he did. Bill Jackson halfway down in front of us. Now watch him. Good pressure as you talk. He tips the ball, and big 7'4" Smits reaches over the top. Tommy, we got a timeout.
Timeout, Indiana. 6:59 left in the third, and the Bulls lead this one by a pair in front of the sold-out United Center. Tomorrow night, Robin Ventura and the White Sox rack up a 2-game set in Beantown against the Boston Red Sox. Coverage starts in the game room at 5:30. First pitch at 6 tomorrow on Fox Sports Chicago. High atop the United Center here in Chicago. The Bulls lead it by 2, and Michael Jordan can't jump quite that high. Foul trouble. Mullen and Dale Davis with 4. McKee and Rose with 3. For the Bulls, Luke Longley's got 4. Kukoc and Dennis Rodman with 3. And the thing about Dennis, John, is he got those 3 very quickly. Dennis only played 7 minutes and got 3 fouls. All right, the Bulls get it. There's the turnovers, 4-0. Get it back to Tony. Quick jumper left side. Tony hits again, and all of a sudden, John, Kukoc has found the ring.
In this quarter.
Mark Jackson bumps Scottie as he comes up the floor. tip, knocked it away out of bounds. 10 on the shot clock. And Jackson is screaming at his teammates to move. He is really hollering at those guys. He calls out the play, but he was really giving it to him. Miller comes around the screen. Look at Harper right there. And a foul on Ron Harper.
That was a forced shot. He wanted to pass the ball in. And when it wasn't there, he just tried to jump over Harper and into him, which he did. Harper the second foul, and Reggie to the free throw line. They've given Reggie 9 shots.
That's his first free throw, John.
Yeah.
Here comes Dennis.
Oh, Bill Wennington is in. He comes for Tony.
Nope.
Harper's up. They say, let's get this thing straight.
But everybody walked off the floor except Scottie and Michael. Miller's second. They'll make both of those. And it's 62-60. Now Mark Jackson picks up Scottie full time. Pippen penetrates, finds Tony. He's got the high hand, that was short. Mark Jackson with the rebound. And look who's right there. They use Smits all the way up the floor if you can. Scottie tapped it. Oh, but a foul on Pippen. Got one behind. John, the Bulls with 4 team fouls with 6 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third period. Indiana with 3 team fouls. Fresh shot clock now. We're halfway through the third period. Smits and Wennington with a battle down low.
Bill pushed him right out of there that time.
Antonio Davis takes the 17-footer, very short. Reggie Miller lost the rebound and a foul called. Michael Jordan will pick up the personal foul.
Good defense they had, and just couldn't keep it up.
Bulls have capped season ticket sales at 15,000 seats and have started a priority number waiting list for seats that may become available in the future. To add your name to the season ticket waiting list, call 312-455-4000.
Condolences. I lost a good friend, a former Bear great. I thought Bill Bishop passed away, and our condolences to Maryland and his family.
Ron Harper comes in. Tony Kukoc will sit down.
Well, you were right, Tom, about the foul trouble. The Bulls were just sitting on the edge of it, and who they put to the line the last 4 shots. The guy that's dynamite from there.
They've got a few of those, too. It across the timeline. McKee is right there defensively. Scottie drives in. The runner is way off, and Jackson with a rebound. Pippen and Jackson. Reggie Miller with the wing. Down low for Smits with Rodman on him.
Michael just missed it.
McKee throws it inside, and Antonio Davis with the slam.
Tough pass, and they complete it, and they make it look like butter.
Pacers take the lead back by a pair. It's seesawed here in the third period. Coming up on 5 minutes left in the quarter. Michael down low with a post-up with Miller on him. MJ backs his way in. Backs, gets it out to Hart. Baseline Bill Wennington. That's his shot, and it goes in. We're tied back up at 64 now. That's 4 points off the Bulls bench. 21 off the Indiana bench. Jackson with the runner, very short, and Scottie muscles the rebound. He's got Michael running to the opposite side. Hart gives it to MJ inside. No, but a foul. Antonio Davis will pick up the personal. That's his second. Well, Michael Jordan will go to the free throw line for a pair. And MJ MJ's got a couple. And Eric Collins, you've got some interesting numbers on the shooting here at the United Center. What'd you find out, partner?
Yeah, guys, there's been a lot of talk about how the Bulls shoot better on the road than at home. Well, that's a bunch of hogwash. In the 4 years the Bulls have played at the United Center, every year except for the first year, the Bulls have shot better at home than on the road, including this year, the Bulls 45.6% as opposed to 44% on the road. So take that, folks. Back to you guys.
Michael splits the free throws. Both teams in foul trouble now.
Mark Jackson bumps into Scottie. Boy, is Scottie playing him tough. Jackson looking for the opening. Oh, knocked it loose. 4 on the shot clock. McKee, a tough 3. Nope. Antonio Davis, another offensive rebound.
Reggie standing out here all by himself.
Scottie finally went and found him. Smits inside. Michael knocked it away, and a foul call. Bill Wennington raises his hand. Let's see what they say. Yep, it'll be on Wennington. Scottie Pippen on playing defense, how it affects the offense. Anytime you have to guard a guy 94 feet, it takes a lot out of you. I knew I was putting a lot of effort on defense, and he was. He is doing it again tonight. Scottie, 5 of 17 from the field, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Smits hits the first. Travis Best comes back in. Steve Kerr will check in for the Bulls. Mark Jackson came out, and Scottie Pippen will leave for the Bulls. And Indiana so far has done a very nice job on Steve Kerr on limiting his not only chances to shoot it, but just touches on offense.
Rodman's 3rd rebound, and he never really had a chance to get in the game. He was.
Steve Kerr goes down low for Rodman. Back to Michael. Baseline jumper. MJ bangs it home. Michael with 22. 67-65 Bulls.
Oh, Reggie ran straight in, straight to Bill Wennington up.
Smits finds Travis Best on the right side.
Oh, I felt
double foul.
Antonio Davis is 3rd, and it's Rodman's 4th.
They're fighting for position. There they are. So a fresh shot clock with just under 3.5 minutes left here in the 3rd period. Smits rolls through the lane and puts it in. Rik Smits with the basket. He's got 9 points and 7 rebounds. And we're tied at 67 here in Chicago as the Bulls take on the Indiana Pacers here on Fox Sports Chicago. Eastern Conference playoff game number 2. Kerr looks for an open man. Wennington, baseline jumper. Wennington with another jump shot that goes in.
Fans not only cheering because that goes in, give the Bulls a lead, but Bill very, very popular in this town.
Beef Wennington is sandwiched from earlier. Inside McKee, and they missed it. Kerr pushes it up the floor. Back for Wennington. From 15. Just off, and Ron Harper fights for the rebound. What a save by Harp. Beautiful job. MJ splits him inside, went up, and he got fouled. What a stretch for the Bulls. Harp with a terrific play and a foul call. The fans all on their feet here at the United Center. 2:19 left in the 3rd. The Bulls in the lead, 69-67.
Chicago Bulls playoff basketball is brought to you in part by Ward's, home of the official Chicago Bulls team shop. Genuine Chevrolet, the cars more Americans trust. And by Discover Card, it pays to discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign.
Folks, we're privileged to be with a 5-time MVP, the great Bill Russell, one of the great defenders of all time. Bill, the question I want to ask you, have you ever seen a defensive duo like a Scottie Pippen and a Michael Jordan? Anything, you ever seen a comparison to those guys?
Not since I quit. I'm sorry.
In terms of 2 players in the same team, anything like that?
Well,
When we had Casey and myself, we were pretty good, but these guys are, in this game, they are fantastic.
Thanks for talking to me. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Red Kurt says hello. Hey, Red, that's Bill Russell, your good friend. Back to you guys.
Absolutely. What an adversary. He was a terrific defensive player, and you're right. He and Casey Jones could put some D on you. Michael Jordan to shoot 2, put his team ahead by 4. I want to tell you, Ronnie Harper got the crowd up and going. Dale Davis has 9 rebounds for them, okay?
Right.
The highest guy for the Bulls, Ronnie Harper with 8. He's right there. Michael's got his number.
And Reggie Miller with just 9 points, 2 of 9 from the field. 4 of those 9 are at the free throw line.
Michael missed a couple here.
Bulls lead at 70-67. 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third as Best comes off the screen. Smits likes that shot. He's pretty good from up there. Michael goes by McKee, almost lost it. Haynes finds Dennis Rodman. Looks for the opening, makes the move, bounces it out to Hart. Shot clock at 4 at 3. He's a good guy to have with it. He'll go to the line again.
Rik Smits, a big eraser down there, defender.
That's his 4th, John.
Picks up his 4th foul, but Michael's got the ball. Once he makes the contact, he hangs, throws the ball over his head.
You never know when it's going to go in, right?
Tries for one. Mark Pope. Looking through the pictures in their guidebook.
Right.
Pope doesn't have a bald head. Look at this, your NBA Budweiser profile.
Michael Jordan, 5-time Maurice Podoloff Trophy recipient this year. 28.7 points. And MVPs, which is what that trophy means. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won at 6. Michael and Bill Russell won at 5. Pretty strong company.
They don't want Dennis to get his 5th foul in this quarter, so they're sitting him down. He doesn't like that, but Bill is trying to keep him out there as long as he can in that 4th quarter.
Dickie Simpkins did check in. Best with it. So Antonio Davis, no. Harp on defense against Miller. Reggie off the glass, no. And Antonio Davis there to tip it in. Davis makes it a 1-point Bulls lead. 1:15 left, and Derek McKee will be called for the foul, and he's in foul trouble. McKee has picked up his 4th. Larry Bird up off the Pacers bench. He doesn't get real loud. He doesn't get very demonstrative. He just, hey, that's how he is, right there.
Well, let's wish a happy birthday to Dawn Knapp also.
Okay.
Michael, in the cup. At the press conference yesterday, you know, I introduced him at the press conference, and then Russell talked, and then gave him the trophy and Michael and everything else. So I ended the press conference. I said, Michael has got a very important financial meeting.
Yeah.
Financial meeting in about 30 minutes. He's got to leave the golf course.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You're right. Burrell comes in again.
74-71 now, Bulls, and again, some pressure put on by the Bulls. Travis Best says, I will handle the ball, and he does.
Harper and Reggie.
McKee with the down low, backs his way in, continues to back, and a foul on MJ.
It's a 3rd on Michael.
Johnny, we talked about the trophy just a second, Maurice Podoloff Trophy. Should they rename it the Michael Jordan Trophy?
They asked him yesterday, and he says, you know, it's not right. I'm tied with Bill at 5, and Kareem has got 6. So he said, you know, everybody laughed and said, why don't you come back? See if
That's right. Yeah.
Maurice Podoloff, of course, was the commissioner of the NBA, and he retired in 1963.
There's the foul. Everybody's saying, what was the foul? McKee makes it again a 1-point ball game. 74-73, just under a minute left in the third as MJ will bring it across the timeline. Jalen Rose will check in for Indiana.
You could go 2 for 1 with this amount left on the clock.
Simpkins back to Michael. MJ DJ, jumper right side.
Whoa, the sweeper.
Rebound. How about that?
Steve Kerr, the sweeper, gets in there.
Michael trying to get his attention. They want to go 2 for 1 right now. Michael will do just that. And he'll go to the line for a pair with 30.7 seconds left. Jalen Rose checks in.
Travis Best picks up his second foul, and you're right. So Michael's shooter, he's just talking to Steve. He said, I was going to go for it. I heard that whistle blow, and I just threw that ball up over my shoulder. We have played, what, 23 minutes in the first game? 23 minutes. Got 12 here. Michael with 28 points in the quarter. 28 points so far in the game.
So barring a foul or an offensive rebound, the Bulls should get the last possession. Best has it now. Bulls lead at 76-73.
Harper putting the muscle on Reggie over the
corner. Boy, he is, isn't he? Miller drives in, and Harper gets called for the foul.
There's going to be a foul on a play, yep.
Well, you could see that coming. I mean, that was built. It had been filled.
This is not the foul. This is not the foul. This is just some basic shoving. Now Reggie shoved to get up. Now here is the foul.
That was the foul right there, yeah.
Oh, missed the free throw.
Well, and guess who's going to have it? MJ will bring it up, folks. 8 seconds left in the third. Michael stops, top of the circle, jump.
Well, you can't do this.
3 seconds left, 2 seconds, 1 second. They lost it. The quarter ends. Michael does it again at the end of the third period. After 3. 31 points for Michael, and the Bulls in front of a capacity crowd lead at 78-74. Here's a Walgreens game summary. Bulls have made 2 more baskets, shot 9 more. Free throws just almost exactly the same. Rebounds 36-29. Leading scorers Antonio Davis and Michael Jordan and John. We are going to the 4th quarter at the United Center here in Chicago. Eastern Conference game number 2. And the Bulls lead the Pacers by 4. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Scott Burrell, Scottie Pippen back on the floor with Dennis Rodman. Best baseline jumper is good.
So they put Jalen Best, Travis Best over in the shooting guard position to get his first pass.
Pip with it on the wing, looking for Dennis.
Whoa! Stay in the gym, Tony.
Still got a little time in the shot clock. Tony drives in. Nope. But a foul called, and Tony Kukoc will go to the line.
Well, that passing was something to be desired. The pass into Dennis was not there. Dennis's pass was not there.
Playoff game, the first 10,000 fans in the United Center will receive a Bulls car flag, compliments of ComEd. Travis Best will bring it across the timeline on the right side. Jalen Rose pops out. Burrell had a chance, got it, pushes it up the floor, and is hammered from behind very hard. Rose goes down, Burrell goes down, and the official goes over to see what he's going to call. Let's see.
They're just going to give him 2, but that should be on the side when you hit a guy like that from the back. Look at that. Take some, I mean, when you just go after the guy from the back, it's just a reach over the top. You don't have any control. So Burrell trying to make a couple free throws. wrapping up this fourth quarter with 2 free throws.
Travis Best goes on top, finds Chris Mullen. Mullen with the jumper, and it's good. What a good play.
Slow motion shot. Looked like it could have been blocked down his throat, but he's such a great shooter.
Quick pass inside, back to Tony. Jumper left side, Tony. Kukoc hits again. Tony has really come to play here in the second half.
16 points for Tony Kukoc. He had 11 of them here in the second half.
Travis Best in a very physical matchup with Steve Kerr. Antonio Davis hit a bunch from there. Dennis couldn't get it, but kept it alive. Scott Burrell does.
Transition. Here comes Tony.
Kicks it out. Burrell on top. Steve's first good look. No! And Scottie tries to reach in and pick up the ball and picked up a foul instead. Steve Kerr looks back to Scott Burrell and says, hey, nice pass.
Everybody on their feet here as Steve had that good look. It wasn't there. Now he gets hit, or Scottie reaches and grabs the ball.
Pope up high. Right side for Jalen Rose. Rose will finally take the jumper. Very short. Dennis Rodman right there. Very interesting here at the United Center, Red Kerr. 84-78 Bulls with the lead. The crowd's getting excited. Pip off the Dennis screen. Top of the circle. Finds Tony. Drives the baseline back. Here's another good look, Steve.
Oh, yeah. You don't give that guy a couple looks like that. Wide open.
Timeout, Indiana. The Pacers want to talk it over. This place is going crazy. 23-8-44. And the Bulls lead it 87-78 in the fourth period. Well, it may not be L.A., but the Stars do come out in Chicago. Gary Sinise is here.
Hey, remember him from Forrest Gump, and you remember him
Absolutely.
also Truman. And
Penny Marshall is here.
And who else is here? Hey, Tony Kukoc is here. Yes, he showed up here very well the second half. He knocked down a long deuce. And then Steve Kerr gets an opportunity. He had a three-point look at it earlier. He missed it. The ball comes around. Tony gets it here, throws it back out, and look at this. Steve Kerr sends $50 to charitable Eric Rick and Muffler.
Scottie right there defensively on Mark Jackson. The crowd makes a lot of noise. Antonio Davis tries to get position. Scottie knocked it away. He went from Jackson down to Davis and knocked it away. Tony off the screen. Puts it up. Oh, Dennis just missed it.
Oh.
And Scottie Pippen got the rebound.
And there's no technical on that because he had to protect himself from coming down on someone.
Pip bounces to Kukoc. Tony with the hook. Nope. And Antonio Davis with a rebound. Pitches it out to Jackson. Pick up his dribble. Finds Antonio Davis, who's been a real thorn in the Bulls' side. Reggie Miller with a baseline jumper, and you cannot let him get away. Bench points by halves. A little better in the second half for the Bulls. Indiana owned the first 27-11 now. Don't forget, we'll be live in the locker rooms after the game. I'll be in the Bulls. Eric Collins will be in Indiana. Michael gets it back to Tony. In the corner for Pip. MJ post-up move, baseline jumper, nope, and Chris Mullen with the rebound. 87-80 Bulls with the lead. Oh, Scottie knocked it away. He is doing everything on defense right now. Michael brings it across the half-court stripe. Off the screen, he split him offensive on Luke, and Luke says, wait a minute, Reggie pushed me. Luke is really upset.
That's Luke's fifth. There's Reggie Scottie slapping the ball away, and Tony comes up with the tap over to Luke. We're back live here. Bulls with 2 fouls on him.
Jackson with Scottie right there defensively. Smits high to set the screen roll. Back into the corner. Jackson wanted a three. He looked to set it. Stolen by Michael. Here he goes. Poster time. big boys from Michael. And the Bulls with a 9-point lead now in the fourth period here at the United Center. Chris Mullin inside, and
You've got to make him eat that ball.
Somehow he gets that shot off. Points off turnovers. Wow, 21-2. Luke baseline for short, and Mullin with the rebound. Gets it out to
Reggie hanging.
Back to Davis. And he lost the ball. He wanted a foul call. And we got a timeout. It is really physical here at the United Center. 6:50 left, and the Bulls lead the Pacers 89-82. Coming up after Bulls basketball on Fox Sports News. We'll be live in the locker room. I'll be in the Bulls locker room. Eric Collins will be in Indiana's. And on Fox Sports News, NBA and NHL playoffs. You'll see it all, and the coverage is complete right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Show me a few of these.
The Bulls had 19 steals in game one. This is their 13th steal. Michael just goes in and powers it down. Here's another look. The tongue is out, full extension. Hammer it home. Yes, Michael, one more look. He's got 33 in a game, and they'll put the ball in play with 18 seconds.
18 on the shot clock, and Bill Wennington will get called for a foul on Reggie Miller.
It's a two-shot foul. The ball is not in. And who gets to go to the free throw line? One of the smartest players in the league, Reggie Miller, getting guys to put him to the free throw line. Now, the reason it's a two-shot foul is the ball did not get into play. It was a dead ball, and it was held out of bounds and not put into play as Reggie got fouled. So the clock is dead, and you let the man put some points on the board.
Now Bulls with the lead. Michael off the screen, penetrates, finds Harp, out to Pitt. Check to Harp in the corner. Shot clock at 10, 6:35 left. Down low, Michael. Jackson took a swipe at it. MJ phase baseline. Nope. Harper with a rebound, missed it. And Rik Smits comes down with this one, and then Harp fouled him. He was mad that he missed the shot.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was wide open, and then he just fouled
Rik
Smits.
The Bulls commit the foul. That's a third foul on the Bulls. And Harp gets in, just flat out misses the shot.
And John, more importantly, that's Harp's fourth foul. Almost a turnover, and out of bounds. It'll belong to Indiana. 16 on the shot clock. They have harassed these guys. Jackson with 8 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds.
It's only a 5-point game, though. The Bulls have not put this thing out.
Jackson, as Smits comes up high for the screen roll.
Oh, look at this. Nobody there.
Except boy, he has done everything on defense.
Mullin and Miller are open. Watch them.
Smits.
Illegal. Where's Dennis? It is illegal. It is illegal. Dennis is standing in the lane. Now here's the ComEd power cam. Scottie got a little piece of that, but he was wide open for the drive. Technical foul, so they go to the free throw line. One place you can't put these guys, and that's at the line. They come in here.
Wennington and Smits in a battle inside. Fresh shot clock. And Jackson will bring it to the win.
Yeah, it's a 4-point game.
He starts to back in against Scottie. Continues to back. Falls down. Scottie comes up with it. He's got MJ. Harper and Rodman are right there, and Reggie Miller fouled Michael Jordan.
Foul it before he gets to the basket. That's Reggie's first foul.
And a smart foul.
Now here's the steal. Look at this. He's trying to back Pip in. Pip taps the ball and gives way with his body. Now Michael can't quite control it, but when he does get it, Reggie grabs him and fouls him.
MJ with it down low. Starts to back in. Kicks it out to Scottie. Pip for three.
Oh, the dagger. Big one for Pip. 19 in the game. Could only come up with 4 points in a great defensive effort on Sunday. But today, with the defensive effort, he's put 19 on the board.
He has been unbelievable defensively tonight. He was great on Sunday. He is doing it all. Mullen inside to Smits for the jam. Bulls with the lead, just under 5 minutes left. Mike gets it back to Wennington, baseline jumper. Bill Wennington hits again from the corner.
So with 6 second-half points.
Mullen back on top, finds Smits from 15. Rik Smits answers.
The guy can shoot.
And will. Smits with 15 points and 8 rebounds now.
Oh, Smits just decked Michael. 10 seconds on the clock.
MJ comes off the screen, goes around Smits.
Whoa!
He got hit hard by Mark Jackson.
When that happened earlier in the season, that ball went flying off of Mark Jackson's head. Now he comes around Smits, and here he comes from the blind side.
And Phil wants a timeout. Mark Jackson and Dennis Rodman with a little discussion. And the Bulls will take a timeout. 4 minutes, 12.
Oh, okay. That was a T.
4 minutes, 12 seconds left. The Bulls lead the Pacers 94-89 in the fourth period.
Chicago Bulls playoff basketball is brought to you in part by United Airlines. You deserve a higher level of service. That's why United Airlines is rising. Ameritech. In a world of technology, people make the difference. And by Mazda. Come see what happens when a car company has more engineers and fewer accountants. Mazda.
Buckingham Fountain in the United Center, Water Tower Place. All season long, our producer-director on Fox Sports Chicago is about the best in the business, James A. Angio. Ange, it has been a terrific year. Joe Corneo stepped in and has been terrific as well. Doug Stanton left us mid-season, and Joe came in. Ronnie Stordo, our assistant director. Ronnie, thank you for all your terrific work. Hugh Hollins laughing with Ron Harper. MJ made the first, 95-89. 96-89, Bulls with the lead. Mark Jackson with Scottie on him. Finds Reggie Miller. Pip harasses Miller for a second, then goes away. Smith sets the screen. Miller for three. Michael Jordan with the rebound. Scottie wants it. Michael says, I got it.
You get down in the corner.
That's right. You go do your job. We'll take care of everything else, buddy. Pip has it up high. Comes down low. Inside. Get it knocked away. Dennis right there. Put it on. It just would not fall. 96-89. Bulls with the lead. Jackson off the screen. Drives right inside. In and out. And Dennis with a rebound. That's twice the Bulls have gotten lucky.
That ball went in, around. Dennis just, his presence being there. Dennis with only 6 rebounds in this game, but it seems like everyone he comes up with is very important.
Scottie inside, and a foul called, and Pip a little upset with Antonio Davis.
He walks away.
Smart move by Scottie. Here's our Ginsana hustle board for our rebound leaders for the game. How about the name on the top for the Bulls? Has he played great? In fact, Harper and Pip have been terrific. Davis, Smits, Jackson, Antonio Davis. Hey, this has been a tough ball game. 96-89, Bulls with a lead. 3 minutes, 14 seconds left. And Scottie's first missed. First Mullen fights for it was Bill Wennington, and Mullen saved it.
St. John.
And Mark Jackson as well. Inside, Smits puts it up and in. He does it. Boys, you got long arm.
That's the way you have to do it when you get in that close. Somebody's going to put you to the line. Luke has got 5 fouls.
Need that big body, I think.
5-point lead.
Ooh. Harp gets it on the wing with Mark Jackson on him. Shot clock at 10. Michael has it down low with Miller on him. Continues to back. Fades. Fires.
Yes! Jordan with 37.
98-91 Bulls with the lead. Mark Jackson finds Chris Mullen. Quick jumper. Chris Mullen with another bucket. Mullen has played much better tonight than he did in game 1.
Absolutely. 18 points.
6 of 9 from the field. Made all 5 free throws. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And Jackson comes down the floor.
Harper
takes it away. Back to Reggie.
Reggie's on the line. It's only a 2.
And it's good.
What a dippy play. They fall asleep in the back, and Mark Jackson just patiently goes in and steals the ball.
Pacer bench wants to say it was a 3, but it was a 2. It's a 3-point game, though, as Michael slips and falls down and continues to play. Fadeaway jumper.
That's it.
It's in
the hole, yeah. Michael Jordan with 39. Now, that's his high this year in the playoffs, a 9 playoff game. This being the 10th.
Mark Jackson brings it up the floor, and Scottie reached in and will be called for the holding foul.
Now, here's the fall asleep. Here's the dippy play. Watch this. It's just a little easy pass, and Mark Jackson comes in, rips the ball away, gives it to Reggie. Reggie is just over the line, lets it fly. Bill Whittington leaves, and here's Harper. And here's Michael's last play down on the ground. Looks like Curly Neal, the old Globetrotter player. He comes down, comes up, pulls around, takes the shot in the hole. First foul in the last 2 minutes for the Bulls now.
Rik Smits wanted it, has it. Finds Jackson on top. Bulls rotate defensively. Smits takes the shot from 15, a leaner, no good. Rebound loose, and Luke does his job.
Yes, sir. Big stand that time.
195 Bulls coming up on a minute left in the 4th period. Game 2, Eastern Conference Final.
Watch it, Luke.
MJ comes off the screen, drives, stops, fades, fires again. 41. Time out, Indiana Pacers. 59 seconds left, and this crowd is going crazy at the United Center. 102-95. The Bulls lead Indiana.
Somebody made that. I don't need to have my name stamped on it. It's on the door.
It's your life's work. Does your bank understand that?
Bulls with a 7-point lead, and from your ComEd Power Cam, Michael gets a screen from Luke. He comes over in the side, hesitates a little bit, fades back, lets it fly. Yes, sir. 41 points from Michael, and that's a high in the playoffs this year. Watch him come around, put the brakes on, skid, lets it fly. The crowd is hollering during the timeout. MVP, and yes, he is. He got that award yesterday, handed to him from Bill Russell. He's been terrific.
Bench reacts to that one. Oh, yeah, he did it again. By the way, guys, Trio Video, thank you. You are the best. Best camera angle, best audio. Every year they do a great job. Thank you, guys. It is much appreciated. Mark Jackson between the circles now. We've got less than a minute left. Indiana needs to hurry. Jackson drives, lob pass. Got it again. 2 big plays for Longley, and they foul Scottie right away.
Big play is right. The big long arms of the Bulls. They can't get the pass over. Mark Jackson drives the lane. And look at this. He tries to throw it in. Luke just reaches up, grabs it, flips it to Scottie, and then the foul is committed. Was that Longley or Smits that commits the foul? That's
I believe so, yeah.
Scottie Pippen with a nice game here. 19 points for Scottie. He's got 6 rebounds. He's got 5 assists.
I don't know how many steals he's got, but a ton.
Yeah, the steals are not shown up here. But
how many other turnovers he's forced? How many times, John, has he gone to help out a teammate and stop somebody from making a shot, made them pass it off? He's been something. Indiana with 20 turnovers, Bulls with 26 points off, and almost 21 as they got in the backcourt. They got to hurry to get it across, and just do find Rik Smits. Mark Jackson with it on the right side. Jackson puts up a tough lead. Nope. Rebound. Michael got it away from Antonio Davis. listen to this crowd. Lou. Dennis, 4-3 short. The shot clock is off. Mark Jackson will drive. Gives it back. Chris Mullen will take a three. Nope. 10 seconds left. The Chicago Bulls are going to go up 2-0 in this best-of-7 series, and a foul called on Ron Harper.
3 free throws. Ron Harper on the foul. Let's see what they give him. 3. Yes, 3 free throws. So with 5.4 seconds on the clock, the Bulls with a 9-point lead. Tommy, this is our last game together, pal, and it's been just terrific.
You have been a pleasure to work with again all season. Got to thank a lot of people. Tim Hallam, Lori Flores, Tom Smithberg, their interns, the great PR staff from the Bulls, front office from the Bulls, the people that do a great job with us, all the people at Fox Sports Chicago, just too many people to name. They just do such a great job every year. Our thanks sincerely go out to them.
Holding Michael here.
Scottie gets it back. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Pip, have a little fun, partners. Smile, because the Chicago Bulls have gone up 2-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and they do it despite John 104 points. It was the defensive effort that made the difference. Dennis Rodman gives Penny Marshall his jersey. Defense was huge. The Chicago Bulls with the win, 104-98. Now let's go back to our studios. Once again, here's Chet Coppin.
All right, Thomas, 2 down, 2 to go. The Bulls in the win column by 6, 104-98, and a big night for Penny Marshall from Laverne and Shirley, prominent motion picture director. And she garners Dennis Rodman's number 91 jersey tonight. The Pacers get some points on the board, but from my perspective, Mark Jackson's going nowhere fast.
Well, Mark Jackson has been an asset for this team down, for the regular season. Right now, that's why the playoffs are made the way they are, Chet. You take away the strengths of what got you there, and all of a sudden you get Reggie Miller, no points in the first half, field goals extra safe. He had 3 points at that point. You take away Mark Jackson's ball handling, playmaking ability, and you govern that, and someone else has to step up and beat you. And I think at one point the bench in Indiana was keeping pace, and you think maybe Reggie would catch fire and catch on, but the Bulls play steady defense, and on their end of it, waited for somebody to get hot on offense, and guess who got hot? Now, obviously, Michael Jordan. And all the Bulls needed was a little more offense in this whole game as they approach it. But once again, you give teams credit for trying to take away the strengths of other teams. That's what playoffs are all about. Usually, someone else has to step up and do the job. And I think right now, when you really think about it, steady defense was played, and the Bulls finally got their offense going. But defense, defense is just tremendous.
All right, my friend. Coming up, live in the locker room right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Stay with us. We'll be alternating between our set right here, analysis from Norm Van Leer, and the UC. Back in a moment. The big picture, actually, we're now talking about 6 victories and then the Grant Park celebration, and the Bulls will have knocked down their 6th NBA championship in this decade. We continue with our post-game locker room show, live in the locker room right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Larry Bird has now got some downtime with this ball club. The teams don't match up again until Saturday afternoon. What can Larry do at this point? You've had 3 basketball games where Miller, Smits, Mullen have not given you what you want. Jackson is not giving you what you want. This is a ball club right now that I think in some respects, Van, is almost intimidated.
Well, I don't think so. I think, they respect the Bulls a great deal. But at the same time, I think the biggest thing Larry Bird is going to have to talk about once again, is the fact that turnovers killed him. Turnovers killed this team.
All right, very quickly, the franchise, Michael, Jeffrey, Jordan.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chet. Well, Michael, you guys simply put the hammer down on these guys. Bill Russell's in the house, arguably the greatest defender, but you guys showed him what time it is.
Well, in the first half, we took time to make their adjustments and see what the adjustments they made from the first game. And, they tried to implement Rose into the game to take some of the ball handling capabilities away from Mark Jackson, but we got him into foul trouble, so that kind of failed for them. And we came out in the second half knowing exactly what their adjustments were, and in defense, we pushed up the intensity.
You and Scottie, just an absolutely dynamic duo defensively. Have you seen Scottie play defense like this before?
I think Scottie he's really been a lead on that defense. He's really keeping the pressure on the point guards, and we're stepping it up in the back. And he hadn't really been shooting the ball particularly well in the offense, which you know, as all great players, you got to be able to do other things. And, you know, he stepped it up defensively for us.
And, Michael, just the last question for me. It looks like offensively you guys can turn it off or on whenever you want to. Is that somewhat dangerous?
It's very dangerous because, I mean, we're relying upon, you know, individual talent right now. And in the past, we've always let the system and let our rhythm of our offense work. Right now, we're struggling with our rhythm to some degree, but somehow we found ways with the leadership on this team to find ways to win the game.
Michael, thanks for stopping by. An absolutely monster game for the MVP, Michael Jordan. 41 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 huge steals. And the Bulls go on to win by a final score of 104-98. That's our British Airways insight into the game. Stay tuned, everybody. Chet and Norm, they're back for the world's greatest postgame show only on Fox Sports Chicago.
This postgame report is brought to you by British Airways, the world's favorite airline.
All right, Larry Bird, the Indiana Pacers, had talked about playing more aggressively tonight, being more physical with the Chicago Bulls. In terms of screens, picks, in the first half, you felt the Pacers were the dominant ball club. They led by 7, 52-45, had a decided edge as a rebounding ball club. In the second half, where does it go?
Well, the second half, I thought the turnovers, especially toward the fourth quarter, getting out of the third quarter, the turnovers killed this team. I think Bulls 21 points out of that. But at the same time, turnovers are caused by great defense. And I don't care how great a defense you play, you have to make adjustments. One thing being shut down scoring, another thing throwing the ball away, leading to fast breaks and points on the other end. Bulls brought that about again. Michael got hot. The bench came in, scored a little bit here and there. And that was a ball game right there. They played steady defense, Chet, and you can't ask for anything more out of the Bulls than that. And thank goodness, maybe more than Michael got hot and started scoring. He would annihilate this team. But give Indiana credit. They stayed right there because I thought they played defense as well. And it took Michael and individuals the scoring opportunity with 41 points to really bring it out and hit clutch. I mean clutch shots. And even with 41 points, it was still tight.
All right, we're going to have a quiz, so be prepared as Professor Van Leer takes you through Basketball 101.
Oh, that's it? These are Norm's keys? I almost forgot. But at the same time, my trusty assistant, Todd Benjamin's son, we call him Big Head Todd around here. If you don't like him, blame Todd. But if you like him, it's all about me. T, roll the tapes. All right, here we go. Michael's victory plan. Yes, MVP. That's what it's called. Michael's victory plan. And that was the score a lot. And Michael went to work. And opportune time whenever Michael got the ball in certain situations. But, man, at the same time, he was playing D. Good hands tonight. How many deflected passes, Chet, did you see tonight by the Chicago Bulls as a whole that, honestly, led to points? And I always say this, when the Bulls do those things, it leads to fast break points, and they do the job right then and there. Michael got hot, gauging up his points. I like to say this about this team. You play the type of defense they're playing, you can get tired on the offense. But Michael did not hesitate. That was shot. That was a bomb right there. Most valuable D. Yes, the Bulls. We'll go with Ron Harper as he blocked the shot right there. When's the last time you seen Ron get those active legs? Look at that, Ron. A man taking charges. Anything to win. A swipe here and there. Don't come in the house with that. 24-second clock on that. Hey, miss, Ron. Bulls, second rebounds after second rebound. Ron, this is playoff basketball, Chet. People on the floor, knocking down, scrapping, moving. That's what playoff ball is all about. Bench press? Well, I never was good at that. I couldn't lift my own weight, but had a little isometric strength. Anyway, the bench on the Indiana side of things kept this team out ahead in the first half. Jalen Rose came in, did something. McKee did a lot of good positive things for this team. They moved without the ball. What the Bulls did to me, as the way I look at it, Chet, they made other people beat you, and that's what they went with. Most valuable team. Let's go with Tony. Tony hit a jumper. Woo! There we go. And there's Scottie just running this thing. Not only that, hitting the open man and a guy that we needed. This was a key shot, I thought, in this game. Good ball movement. Back out to Kerr. Size him up. All right, let's put him down, get on back on D, because that's a trade, my friend. And that's what happened right here with that. And then MJ, the steal, we've seen this quite a bit, a few times in the last 2 games. Still jam boom. And I'll say this again. When the Bulls play the great defense, they deflect passes, loose balls, they turn them into points. So that is a big, big plus for the Chicago Bulls. They use the whole team complete game plan to win this game. I think one key ingredient that Michael said in our British Airways talk afterwards, we had to feel what they were going to do with their, coming back to the second game, their game plan of adjustments. And that's exactly what they did. See it, boom, got it, and they made their adjustments and went out flying. Let's go to Indiana and grab 2.
All right, boom, boom, out go the lights Indiana comes up on Saturday. By the way, MJ, Pip, and Tony combined for 78 points. We continue with Live in the Locker Room right here on Fox Sports Chicago. Tonight, a very special night, number 5 for MJ. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, still to come, live from the UC, as we continue with the award-winning Live in the Locker Room. Now, would you buy a used car from any of these people? The Pen and Mike Club gathers at the United Center, Uniview area, in anticipation of Phil, Larry, Michael, people you'll be seeing right here on Live in the Locker Room. All right, back we are. Kind of interesting, the fine points. Off the bench, Indiana, a significant margin tonight. They outscore the Bulls 27-13. Rebounds, the Pacers are a +8. However, turnovers once again kill Larry Bird and the ball club from Naptown. The Pacers turn the rock over 20 times. Jack Brickhouse used to say, you leave 10, 11, 12 men on base, you are begging to be beaten. You turn the ball over 20 times, you are begging to be beaten.
And then in this case, the Bulls turn those into points. That is a huge difference. A lot of teams don't do that. You get turnovers, but converting is the name of the game, and the Bulls do that as well as anybody I've seen.
Kind of interesting. You win this ball game tonight, essentially on a night when Rodman is basically a non-factor.
Well, at the same time, I'm going to lean toward Indiana on this, and I know they're 0-2 going home. They have 20, 21 turnovers, respectively, 2 games, still only lose by a couple points here. So if they had anything turn around by not turning the ball over, there you have another ball game. But the Bulls' defense, outstanding, once again, led by Scottie Pippen.
All right, let's go out to the ballpark. The Zen Master, bidding for a 6th NBA title, is holding court.
Thanks. Well, we took a look in that first half. They were aggressive. They're quick to the ball. They beat us to the ball. And as a consequence, we went in a little bit on our heels at halftime. Fortunately, we got a bucket from Michael at the end of the half to narrow the lead. And came out the second half with that fervor in our defense again and got some things happening for ourselves again. We just played a very scrappy ball game against a team that played exceptionally well tonight. They had a lot of turnovers. We again forced a lot of turnovers, which was the difference in that win. And made up for the lack of rebounding that we had on the boards. Most of our big guys got in foul trouble during the course of the game, and it made us scramble quite a bit. But I guess that'll happen occasionally in these type of games. I can't say enough about the effort of Michael and Scottie in the second half. They had a terrific half, but they weren't the only ones that gave some great effort out there on the floor.
How pleased are you with the defense against Reggie Miller, Phil?
Well, I just think, you know, Ronnie's doing a great job shadowing him, keeping the ball out of his hands, forcing tough shots. We tried a couple different people on him. He did get free, broke free a couple times when other guys were on him, but we were able to get Ron back in there on him at the end of the game and kind of close it down.
So what do you think of the adjustments that Bird made for tonight's game?
Well, they weren't surprising to us. They stayed more or less out of their sets and freelanced more than anything else out there in the court, which is what we were hoping for. They've got some very good ball players that can play a free, an open floor game like that. Chris Mullen was the guy that really stepped up and had a big game for him tonight. Jackson played well, you know, under the circumstances, even though, you know, we did force some turnovers on his part, and they were able to start running their offensive sets at the end of the game and got Smits some good looks, and he got hot.
There's just no way to adjust to Michael Jordan. Is that what this game said? You can't adjust to this guy.
Well, we put a little more emphasis on Michael being a primary scorer earlier in the game tonight, and he really had a feel for it. It was a special night for him, obviously, getting the MVP trophy, and he went out and proved the point.
Scottie had a better offensive game tonight. What type of subtleties did you do to kind of help him get off his nights a little bit better?
Well, Scottie was rushing his shot. He didn't have a good base on his shots in the first half. They were taking his feet out from underneath him, keeping him off stride. And we just kept encouraging him to shoot, just to find a rhythm in his shots so that they would start to go and not to hesitate. And he kept going back there, and he started getting it going.
Phil, don't you ever feel or fear that Scottie's going to get tired?
Yeah, I took him out in the third quarter. He was getting winded in the third quarter. and we got a good break for him there, and he came back with renewed energy. Yes, he is working himself awfully hard.
You have any great concern that you might be losing Rodman?
Thanks. To what extent is your early lack of aggressiveness related to Tony Kukoc starting, if at all?
It might. There might be a point. You know, we think that Tony's offense early in the game was important, although he hasn't had that kind of a start, but he really had a good third quarter for us and got us going in the third quarter. Dennis is frustrated a little bit, and his frustration was obvious in the game as he got fouls in the course of the game. But he came back and played really well for us in the final period.
Did it ever think you had a sense for him to get into the game?
Yeah, it was tonight because of the situation. I think Dennis kind of assumed that he'd be going in at the 2-minute timeout, and some circumstances happened on the floor where guys got in foul trouble, and he wasn't there to be in. I'll have a talk with Dennis over the next couple days, though. We'll see if we can't get him straight.
Well, after getting no 3-point baskets the other afternoon, was there more of a concerted effort to try to get some of those looks tonight? It looked like there might have been.
Well, we wanted Steve Kerr to get some looks, and he got a couple, and that was important. And we know Tony and Scottie are good 3-point shooters for our team, and we got a little 3-point happy, I thought, in the third quarter. But what we've really done is limit that team to, you know, very few 3-pointers, and our team that feasts off the 3-point shot. So I think that was more important than us scoring 3-pointers.
Phil, how about Reggie's contribution so far?
Well, we came in at halftime, and I think it was 19-2, the differential between the Indiana bench and our bench, and we didn't bring up the point to the guys because they knew what was going on out there. And they came back the second half and got 11 points, and that was good for us. It was real big, and we needed that. We needed a benchmark.
Phil, your team has been in this position many times before. Do you see Indiana now being a desperate team on Saturday?
No, I don't think Indiana has anything to be desperate about, but they know that they can't lose at their own court. I mean, there's a sense of urgency, but I think there's a difference between those two words. A sense of urgency and being desperate might mean you play without poise if you're desperate. And I think they're a team that'll go home and try and find that rhythm and that poise that they have had over the course of the season. I'm sure they're going to be very concerned about the number of turnovers that they have created easy shots for us. They're going to be very pleased about their defense, and I think their offense. Tonight they almost scored 100 points after struggling to get to 70, 75 even in the last game.
So do you find it a bit shocking that your team gave up 52 points in the first half and Reggie Miller had 3?
Yeah. Well, we did mention that it was a big difference in the way they had scored their points, and that'll only happen for usually a half, and they found a way to get Reggie some shots in the second half. We'll not practice tomorrow. We'll resume on Thursday, practice Friday down in Indiana. Thank you.
Zen Master Phil Jackson happy with the victory, but indicating he will talk to Dennis Rodman. Said turnovers were the difference. Van, a couple of points that just kind of reach out to me. Number one, Indiana, 66 shots in game one, only 69 shots tonight. Number two, while Smits winds up with 17, Mullen with 18, they have 11 and 10 touches respectively. That's just not what the doctor orders.
Well, you play defense, and I still say Bulls game plan. Play defense on the main characters in this act. Get it to some of the people that maybe the co-stars and make them beat you, Chet. That's the name of the game. It's playoffs. You take away the strengths. That's what the Bulls did. And you let Antonio Davis, you let Del Davis, you let all these guys, you let them come in and beat you. Let Jalen Rose. That's the name of the game. If they're going to beat you, let someone else do it. That's why you play the defense. You cut off the shots. Reggie only had 13 shots himself, even though he went to the free throw line 11 times. So you look at that, you do those things, and you stay with the game plan. Don't get discouraged. Things usually work out for you when you play the great defense like the Bulls.
Unofficially good, buddy. That's Reggie with 24 shots in 2 games. And we are back with Live in the Locker Room. Still to come, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Hang in.
Chrysler Plymouth presents Live in the Locker Room. Brought to you by the Stars of Chicagoland, your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
Chrysler in Plymouth announces the Owner's Bonus Sale. These unbeatable savings are also extended to all GM loyalty coupon holders and Ford appreciation coupon holders. Select customers save $1,750 on America's lowest priced minivan, Plymouth Voyager, $2,000 on Plymouth Grand Voyager, or $2,000 on the ultimate minivan, Chrysler Town & Country. And when you choose our low 1.9 APR, you still get the extra $1,000 Owner's Bonus for a limited time at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
This door is the only thing that separates you from the Chicago Bulls. Michael and Scottie, surrounded by a crowd of reporters. They say this place is off limits. Fox Sports Chicago can take you inside. Wanna go? Live in the locker room after every Bulls game, home, away, and even those on NBC. Live in the locker room, only on Fox Sports Chicago.
Personal space. Seems like it's getting harder and harder to come by. But when you fly United from O'Hare, it's actually getting easier. With more wide-body planes like the 777 than any other airline. It's one more way United is rising.
With AT&T Digital PCS, you can make a local call for just one low airtime rate, anytime. Whether you're at home or in any AT&T wireless city across the country, your local airtime rate stays the same. So it's simple. One low rate, anytime. Doesn't that make life easy?
You're watching Live in the Locker Room on Fox Sports Chicago.
Larry Joe Bird, head coach of the Indiana Pacers, visiting with the press.
Just talk about what he did tonight.
Yeah, Michael hit a lot of great shots, a lot of tough shots. Well, I guess tough shots for most people before him is sort of routine. And same case, you know, he gets bailed out on a lot of calls and gets to go to the free throw line, and he keeps his confidence. But when you're MVP of the league, you tend to get them calls, and I thought that he played a great game. There's no question about that. He scored a lot of points, and he's the reason they won it. I mean, he kept them in the game even when they was down. He made some tough shots there at the end of the half, and I think he scored 6 points in a row. Then the second half, he was pretty dominant.
Larry, you used to do that a whole lot yourself, take over games. Can you give any insight into what goes to a player's mind at that point in the game when it's time to put it away?
Well, sometimes I think you sense how the game's going, and you have to take it up on yourself to keep your team in it. And knowing Michael, he probably thought before the game, him getting the MVP award would probably fire us up. And he wanted to make sure, well, didn't fire me up, but I think it probably fired my teammates up. And he wanted to come out and prove that, you know, he is MVP, which he is. There's no question about it.
Larry, at this stage, is there anything that you can do to solve their defensive pressure, which has been pretty solid in the games?
You know what I like to see? I like to see Scottie Pippen guard Michael Jordan full court, like Scottie guards Mark Jackson, and see how long he stays in the game. You know, tonight I thought Scottie got away with a lot more than he did the other night. He was chest bumping a lot. It'd be pretty interesting to see Scottie get up on Michael and see how long he lasts in the game like that. But he plays with Michael and he plays for the Bulls, so like I tell my guys, you're not going to get the calls in this series. You just got to try to play through it, which they have been. They haven't been arguing with the officials too much, and they try to keep their focus. But to me, it would be very interesting to see what happens to Scottie. So that's why he should stay in Chicago.
Larry, how much has Pippen's defense on Jackson affected Reggie in the two?
Well, there's no question. They're playing good defense. I thought the first game they played excellent defense. They took us out a lot of stuff in the second half. One of the problems we're having is coming out after halftime and keeping things going like we did in the first. But their intensity picks up, and they're up on people. And tonight I thought I got a little carried away because I thought there was more fouling going on than they were in the first game. I thought the first game they played excellent defense. Tonight I thought they got away with a lot.
Coach, if indeed the fouls were fair in your mind. Is this a 1-1 series? Is that what?
Well, I'm a little frustrated because I thought our guys really played hard tonight. You know, I just thought that they got bailed out on a lot of calls that we played good defense on, and I thought Scottie got away with a lot more tonight because there's been so much talk about how he's pressuring Mark Jackson. But like I said, it'd be very interesting to see him try to pick Michael up full court and see how long he lasts. I feel sorry for Mark Jackson because I thought he's playing a great game, and in the second half they just let him get away with a little bit too much.
Larry, you talk about the fouling that's going on, and obviously that's the physicality that's kind of increased. Keeping in mind that Game 3 is coming up Saturday, do you kind of feel that intensity and that type of physicality is going to kind of increase also just as well?
Well, I think that by being back in Indiana and playing, our intensity will be up. The guys really want to play well. They want to show that they belong here. They played hard all season, but once you get to Eastern Conference Finals against the Bulls, the intensity does pick up. So I believe that they'll come out and they'll be aggressive and they'll play hard. That's one thing we do take pride in is our team's played hard all the year, and hopefully they'll come out and get the job done, and I think they will.
I got to tell you, I like that. Bird right now is down Love to rookie coach, albeit NBA Coach of the Year, saying in effect Chicago got away with too much tonight. Pippen got away with too much tonight. I'd like to see Pippen guard MJ full court for 48 minutes the way he's been checking Mark Jackson. What are your thoughts about what old Larry Joe had to say?
Well, you're protecting your team. You got to say what in notes, whether you're being negative towards Chicago or not, and whether you want to accept it. You have to say things that help your team get down. Because, hey, let me tell you something. I've heard Phil say the same thing when things haven't gone his way in areas. So I respect that. But another thing, that's just life. That's the way it goes. Larry Bird, you had a lot of calls in your day, too.
Oh, come on now. Larry, Kevin,
I love Larry
never
Bird.
got any calls. DJ. All right, let's pick it up with the big Aussie, Luke Longley, live at the UC.
A little bit more because of the passer isn't quite as deadly and enables the big guys to sort of circle their guys, front their guys, make it harder too. So it's just working all the way around.
They tried to do a couple different things with you guys. They tried to have different people bring the ball up the floor. They tried to have Rik Smits set a couple screens as Jackson brought it up the floor. How much of a difference is it that you guys can handle that and still force turnovers in those double teams you guys continue to do?
Yeah, we anticipated that they would probably try and run a little interference in the backcourt for Mark Jackson, and it's one of the great things. We're very versatile. Guys like Dennis and Tony can actually play Rik Smits and play at a full court level. Help to press and still recover and play against a guy like Rik. So, I think that's not going to be as effective against us.
Tony didn't have a very good first half, but came back in the second half and was just outstanding for you guys. What kind of a contribution, and what does that do for the offense when he starts to hit some shots and gets more aggressive?
Hey, when Tony's hitting his shot and when he's on, I think that's when we're at our best. It frees up guys like Michael and Scottie to make cuts, to make plays, and Tony, in a lot of ways, I think Tony's the X factor for us, and when he plays big, we always seem to come out on top.
A lot of people say you're the X factor for the Bulls, but I understand you saying about Tony. Now, you go down there for games 3 and 4, and obviously kind of all you've done so far is hold serve. Anything in particular you think they're going to try and come at you with?
I haven't really thought about it a lot. I imagine that they'll probably come out with a lot more intensity. The home court vibe is tough, gets teams going, and we fed off it a little bit today. I imagine they'll try and turn up the defensive intensity. They may run doubles at Michael earlier, try and get the ball out of his hands because he really punished him there down the stretch. And they'll continue to hit the boards as they did today.
All right, mate. Good on you. Thanks.
Look, what was the difference? That's Luke Longley. Now let's go back to Chet Norm in the studio. Guys, take it away.
All right, long time. When we come back, the Dutchman over here in Old Coppic have got some more comments about Larry Bird, about the officiating, and about Mark Jackson. Right? Am I lying?
Not at all.
Not at all.
If you say so.
Stay with us. If I say so. Stay with us right here. Live in the Locker Room continues in a moment. Can't be the happiest guy in the world. Cannot be the happiest guy in the world. His ball club down 0-2, and tonight he is 4 of 13 from the field. We join the Pacers, Reggie Miller.
Chicago has 3 players in Pippen, Jordan, and Harper. Being so interchangeable, is that kind of thwarting your offense somewhat?
Probably not, because Harper's the one that's primarily guarding me.
Pippen occasionally. I think in a mismatch situation on a fast break might guard me maybe for a possession, but I think throughout most of the game, it's really hard.
Well, the other point is to make your adjustments, come out, put yourself in a position to win, and then what Michael Jordan does to Michael Jordan.
Well, to tell you the truth, all we can keep doing is plugging away. This game we had a great opportunity, to be in the game and to actually take it. And he's a great player, and what great players are supposed to do is step up, and that's exactly what he did.
What do you take home with Indiana, prospect?
Well, they did what they were supposed to do, and that was retain home court. Now it's our job to go back to Indianapolis and do the same. By no means is that a guarantee or is it easy, but with the time off and the way our coaches really dissect the tape, we've got to come up with a better game plan.
Guarding you is almost like running a marathon or a steeplechase because you're a perpetual motion. Are you impressed, maybe even surprised at how adhesive Harper has been to you?
Well, like I said, you're playing a system. It's not really just one guy, because even though he's going to get the primary assignment, every time I come off a pick, off the big guy's showing, hedging, bumping. So, it is a marathon. I like to try to run my players to death, but he's getting a lot of great help. And they're a great defensive team as a unit because they're so long and they're so quick. They pose problems for just about anybody.
Reggie, Larry said he talked to you guys about staying cool, that they're going to get the calls, that they're the veteran team. Do you think you guys have been able to do that for the most part?
I think a lot of times you get caught up in that. I think tonight we did at certain points of the game. Understanding coming to this series, we know that they're going to get all the quote reputation calls, the benefit of the doubt calls. They're the champs, and you can't decision the champs. You gotta knock out the champ. And right now, we're the only ones that are taking all the punches. We haven't thrown any yet, so and I think that's why they're getting all the calls, because they're being the aggressive. So you can't get caught up with the officials, because once they recognize that you're frustrated that way, they're really going to kill you. We're a veteran ball club. We understand that right now, we're in an uphill battle. But we got to play much better going back home.
Keeping in mind that you've battled against Chicago for years in the regular season, this is the first time that you've played them in the playoffs. Have you noticed the approach that might be different in terms of how they approach the playoffs against you guys now versus with when you played in the regular season?
Besides the different mismatches, no, I think the intensity is pretty much the same. Every time these two teams get together, even though it's a regular season game, fireworks are always set off. So just because it's a playoff series and it's the East Finals, I think intensity level, both teams are pretty sky high right now. But besides the mismatches, it's pretty much the same.
How is more physical?
Coming off a New York series? Come on. This is the cakewalk.
Your inability to hit your average to the physical defense?
Say that again?
You attribute your inability to hit your scoring average to the physical defense?
It very well could be. Like I said, they're extending their defense. They're doing a great job of every time coming off picks, forcing Jack the other way, having a big guy hit me to bump me off balance so Harp can recover. And once he's there, trying to beat him, as well as Tony Kukoc, who's almost playing like center field. They're not really worrying about Dale. It's tough.
Reggie,
last question, please.
What are you guys satisfied with?
We're not satisfied with anything. We're 0-2 right now. There's nothing you can really take away from these games. We've got to go back to the drawing board. Thank you.
Reggie Miller, a very difficult night. 4 of 13 from the floor, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. He closes with 19 points as we join a man who once again excelled for the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen now at the interview podium to once again face the coming Mike Club.
Yeah, I'm very tired, but when it's all over and you got a victory, it's a little bit more relieving for me. But they're really a making me extend a lot of energy, and I'm putting forth a lot of effort of trying to make their offense be disrupted to some degree.
Scottie, Larry Bird just said that you'd like to see you guard Michael Jordan full court, the same way you're guarding Mark Jackson. How long you stay in the game? How long you think?
Well, that's impossible this season anyway.
He said that's a good reason for you to stay in Chicago, so you don't have to guard Mike.
Well, it's a good answer. I'm glad he retired next season.
Scottie, talk about the defense again, being able to dominate here with the turnovers and the big difference. They outshoot you, they out-rebound you, and yet you guys dominate the game.
Well, it's been our defense. I mean, it's been the key for us throughout the playoffs, not just this series, but it's starting to really show in this series because we're really trying to take them out of their offense. We're keeping pressure on the ball. We're getting to their shooters. We're forcing their hand instead of allowing them to force our hand.
Scottie, it seems almost like you can take the ball away from Mark Jackson when you feel like it. You pace yourself and decide at a certain point, give me that ball.
No, not exactly. You know, at times I basically just try to stop their transition game, and when he has to go in the backcourt and get the ball, my job is to try to make him work. You know, hopefully we can get the play called from their bench and know what they're running, and you know, I just try to keep pressure and run them out of their sets. I wish it was that easy to take the ball when I wanted to, but it's not happening like that.
Are you surprised at their inability thus far to adjust to you on Jackson?
Well, I don't know what type of adjustment they could make. I mean, other than bring someone else off the bench, try best, but I have enough quickness to stay with Jackson, so I don't know what adjustments they can make other than bringing up a few picks in the backcourt.
A huge performance by Ron Harper. You and Michael certainly deserve the accolades and you know, all the press, but without Harper out there tonight, do you guys win that game?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we're not going to overlook anything that Ron is doing on the court. I mean, he's guarding their #1 scorer, so we know that we must pay close attention to Reggie, and Ron is doing a good job of staying focused from a defensive standpoint, and you know, he's been our unsung hero for a long time from a defensive standpoint, and he never gets the credit for it. But you know, we know that, you know, he's guarding probably one of the most potent offensive players on their team.
Scottie, you had 17 more points today than Sunday. You were saying how your offense struggled. It didn't look like it struggled today despite the energy expended on Jackson.
Well, I would probably, if I had to look back over these 2 games, I'd probably say I put more energy into the game defensively on Sunday. Tonight, I feel like I gave the same effort, but offensively, I just had a little bit more to my game, and I wanted to have a more of an all-around game, and that was the conscious effort that I brought into this game.
You thought you'll shoot better again than on the road as you have in the 2 previous series going into Indy?
Well, I would like to hope so. You know, whether or not I shoot good, you know, the most important thing for us is that we come away with a victory.
Larry Bird talked about the third quarter explosions that you've had in the first 2 games. You opened with a 17-6 run and grabbed the lead. What was your focus going into the third quarter, and how do you execute that?
Well, to start the game, we want to kind of just have some pressure, but, you know, as the second half began, we like to build our pressure, you know, and sort of have them back on their heels where they think that, you know, they felt the best of our defense, and really they haven't. I mean, we started to really put forth a lot of energy, a lot of effort into the defense, getting in the passing lane. I try to harass Jackson a little bit more, be a little bit more aggressive, try to get them out of their sets.
So should we wait on the third quarter explosions rather than talk about the slow starts from game to game?
Well, I just have to wait and see what Phil Jackson's game plan is. I mean, tonight we didn't want to come out and jump all over this team. We knew that they were going to make some type of adjustments, and we didn't want to come out and show our best hand as we did in Sunday's game. So we sort of relaxed. I mean, I played defense full court, but not to the point to where I was trying to run them out of their offense.
Scottie,
I don't know. I mean, I'm just out there playing. I'm not trying to get a feel one way or another about how he feels.
Scottie, this is the way the Bulls play now. I mean, you come out slow. You know you're going to get them in the third quarter. It's just the way older guys play now.
Well, who you calling old? I mean, this is what the playoffs about. You have to build pressure. I won't say that that's the way that we play. I mean, it's the way that we have to play in this series. this is where we feel like that our strength is against this team, is to get up and pressure Jackson. And, you know, he's sort of the catalyst of their offense. And if we can take him out of his game, then it can sort of limit the opportunities of their scores.
Scottie, you win the game tonight without Dennis. It's got to be a good feeling to win without him, but what do you do about his pouting right now, and do you guys need to bring him back in at this point?
Well, I don't feel like we won the game without Dennis. I mean, Dennis does a lot of little things out there on the court. He didn't have a remarkable game, but, you know, he's doing a good job of matching up, taking Antonio Davis out of the game. And, you know, that's his job in this series. If he can stay active and stay focused and not let Davis get off to a good start, and that's pretty much all we need from him.
Let's talk about Michael Hadman. Was there a point in the game where you knew he was going to take over?
Yeah, pretty much. When they gave him the MVP award at the beginning. I mean, he had to come out and, you know, really show that, you know, it's well-deserving, and which we all know that it is. And we know that he was going to get off to a good start from an offensive standpoint, and he came out and proved it.
Scottie, you're a free agent for a lot of years, and you're also playing fabulous defense. Is there any connection there?
No, not exactly. I mean, I've played defense throughout my career. I don't think anything has changed just this season.
Last question, please.
I don't feel like I've stepped it up. I mean, I've went, you know, if I look back in my past when we played the Lakers back in '91, I had the opportunity to go up and play Magic at the point. You know, I feel like that I did the same thing. I mean, he was a much bigger point guard, but nothing has changed. Thanks.
Scottie Pippen, a member of the NBA's all-defense team, suggesting that, no, there really is not much the Indiana Pacers can do to neutralize that Pippen-Mark Jackson matchup. Scottie did suggest that perhaps the Pacers might give Travis Best additional minutes. No build-up required, no intro required. Babe Ruth, Secretariat, and the Hall of Famer of your choice has just arrived. Here is the franchise.
You decided you needed to take over this game.
Why you get to ask the first question? Well, I mean, in the third quarter, they switched Derek McKee on me early. And I kind of started calling my own plays, actually. I felt in the open, I could break them down, get them into foul trouble, get some easy baskets. They were already in the penalty, so I mean, all I had to do was get them in foul trouble and go to the free throw line and make my free throws. And I think the key was defensively, we had a tough time stopping them. You know, offensively, we seemed to, you know, find a way to, you know, attack them and go to the free throw line. So early on, late, about mid-third quarter, when they got into the penalty, I kind of forced the issue to, you know, try to get more fouls and take advantage of the matchups.
Michael, Larry Bird talked about some of the disparity in calls, DC calls. He said he'd like to see Scottie Pippen try to guard you full court and see how long Scottie would last in the game. How long before you follow him out?
You know, the good thing about it, we never really know. I mean, Scottie and I have had some great battles in practice, and he didn't get those calls either in practice. So, but I mean, this is a sign of a coach. You know, Larry, I think, sounds more like a coach when he starts to complain that I'm getting more calls than his team's getting. You know, I think he, you know, back in the day, when he played, we certainly complained about all the calls he was getting. So now he's truly a coach right now.
Michael, again, on how much of the MVP, get the trophy before the game, affect your performance? You have to come out and let us know that you're supposed to get it.
I've always said that getting that type of trophy is added pressure. You know, you have to go out and live up to it at some particular time. And tonight was no different. You know, I felt pressured to go out and prove that you guys didn't make any mistakes in your voting. You know, and in some ways that's a great challenge, but yet it's pressure. But I wanted to get it over with, because sometimes when you're in those, you have those types of events in the course of the game, it's a distraction more so than anything. So you know, it was a short ceremony, which was good, and it didn't take away from what we were really there for, which is to try to win game 2 and not not put so much emphasis on, the MVP award.
Michael, you outshoot this team. They outshoot you, they out-rebound you, yet you guys go ahead and win again. From the factor going back to Indianapolis now, they have to be a little bit demoralized. Can you talk about that possibly?
Well, the pressure was on us, to win our first 2 games in Chicago. Now the pressure's on them to defend their home court. Any loss would put them in a very big hole. And that's the way we like it, when the pressure is on the other team. We've made our adjustments according to their adjustments. The first half, we evaluated their adjustments. I think their adjustments was to get Jalen Rose in the game early, take some of the pressure off of Mark Jackson to bring the ball up. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, he got into foul trouble early, and that totally eliminated their adjustments, and they were right back to the same ball game in the second half. And our defensive intensity picked up, as you saw in the second half. And now we're waiting to see what type of adjustments they're going to make. I'm pretty sure the home crowd's going to make some difference for them in terms of getting Reggie Miller more foul calls. Chris Mullin involved offensively even more so than what happened today, and Rik Smits even more so than what happened today. But the good thing is that, hopefully we shoot better getting away from the United Center. We haven't really been shooting particularly well, a certain number of us. And, on the road we have a tendency to focus as a team, and I think that, we feel comfortable on the road. We don't have to deal with the traffic, we don't have to deal with the tickets, and we bond well. So, it didn't need any easier for them. I think we can still apply a lot of pressure to them on the road.
Phil says he needs to sit down and have a talk with Dennis. What does Dennis need to be told, and what questions need to be asked of him?
Well, I think Dennis has to maintain a certain focus. I think Phil has been unhappy with some of his antics as of late, being late to practice, not showing up when he should be. And we've had a conversation with Dennis in the past. If anybody's going to miss practice and start skipping practices, it should be me or Scottie. We've been here the longest. As long as we're here, he should be here. And no matter what he does in the evening, we never really question that. We've always given him enough time to be Dennis. But when we come to work, he has to be here for work. And I think that's something that Phil wants to reiterate. And if he needs our leadership, Scottie and myself, and other players to step in there to support him, we will. This is a crucial time of the season, and the last thing we need is some BS from Dennis.
Are you worried he's flaking out again?
He's not flaking out. He's just trying to get some attention. If he needs some attention, we certainly give him as much as he needs. But for the most part, he's probably disappointed a little bit for not starting, but it's a purpose for that. And Phil's the coach, and he has to adhere to that. And I think once he realized he has so much respect for us and what we've tried to achieve, he doesn't want to be the reason that we don't succeed. So I think that's certainly working in our favor.
Did you show a little bit of your own anger there, taking a couple balls away from him, almost soaring over him and just moving it down court, saying, we've done this without you tonight?
No, I'm not thinking about that in the mix of the game. I'm doing whatever I have to do. If it's a loose ball or rebound, I'm going to get it. I'm not worried about if Dennis is getting his rebounds or not. I think, and hopefully he's not thinking that way either. That's a crucial rebound here. It's a crucial rebound there. I'm going to get it. And it doesn't matter if I get it or Dennis gets it. He has to understand.
Michael, how distracting is it in terms of the rotation that Phil has to put out on the floor, and particularly tonight when a lot of people got into foul trouble early, that Dennis is not there, and it forces you got to play more minutes under more duress?
Well, I'm not worried about my minutes. Unfortunately, they have we're in a disadvantage with the matchups, with Dennis not being capable of playing, gets early fouls. Dickey came in. And Dick is certainly not the same as Dennis, but he's going to give us whatever we have. But
the fortunate thing is they got into foul trouble too, you know, so that offset what, you know, disadvantages or advantages they had, and you know, we were able to sustain the first half.
Third quarter when you're in the end of the third quarter by 21 points, what is it about the start of the second half, and how do you transfer part of that to the start of the first quarter instead of the third?
Well, I think this team is about making adjustments. We go back and we look at the first half and see what adjustments they made and see where we have made mistakes, and come out in the third quarter and defensively ignite things. Now that's been a problem for us all season, and I think this is now, you know, the highlight of the season. We've made our adjustments, and we've made that a point of interest to come out in the third quarter and control, you know, the game defensively as well as offensively, and they have yet to meet that type of intensity. I'm anticipating that's going to change in Indianapolis.
Mike, can you describe your metal lock limited play at the end where you hit the ground, you slide, you kept your dribble going, and you hit the shot that breaks people's hearts?
Well, I thought it got foul, first of all. You know, coming off the screen, Smits doing a lot of pushing, a lot of touching, and I mean that's one of the rules that the league's changed, but they hadn't really enforced. And when I found myself off balance, Reggie went for the steal behind my back, and gave me a clear path to the basket. And sure, once I got my feet underneath me, I could make the shot. And it seemed to be uncanny, but I've been there before, and I feel very comfortable there. And defense is certainly off balance, and that's a great time for me to attack.
Michael, is the difference between you and these other teams' mental toughness in the end?
Yeah, we've been here before. You know, I've heard a lot of conversation about us playing Indiana, and you know, we haven't had the opportunity to play them in the playoffs, and but it isn't something that we hadn't experienced. You know, it didn't take Indiana for us to experience the mental challenges and mental toughness that it takes for the playoffs. New York, Miami, other teams that we have faced has presented the same type of challenges mentally. So we have experienced that, and you know, 9 times out of 10, I keep saying that goes unnoticed and unrespected. You know, sure, they may be a more talented basketball team when you look at it on paper, but desire and experience and maturity means a lot at this stage in the game.
Michael, how concerned are you about your bench scores?
Tough night for the bench tonight. You know, I picked up a little extra weight there, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they know how important they are. And Phil looks at the film and see how we can get them more involved. But you know, we got Bill to step in and give us some big shots, and Steve came in and made a big 3 for us. But we know we have to continue to take their bench out. You know, their bench gave them 29 points against our 13. So I mean, that's a big deficit, and that's something that we have to keep at a minimum and certainly improve our bench scoring.
Michael, we're talking about your bench. Obviously, Tony Kukoc is normally a part of your bench. You got the starting nod today. Tony had a good second half. Tony's always kind of like the wild card in the whole Bulls mix. Do you ever say anything to Tony, or do you say anything after today's game, like basically, good job, Tony, that's what we want you to do all the time?
I say a lot of things I can't really say, you know, in this press conference, but I think he knows his value to us. We've been able, I mean, we've implemented him in the starting lineup, which has kind of taken some of the weight away from our bench. So that means other players have to step forward and give us something, but you know, I think his confidence is strong right now, Tony. He's a target defensively. Everybody tries to attack him defensively as well as Steve Kerr. But that shouldn't, it's nothing new to us, you know. But our bench knows they have to continue to improve to give us some time of rest, Scottie, myself, and the other players, and whatever we can get for them is always a plus.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael. That's it. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No.
Michael Jordan making it clear, you don't have to read between the lines, that he is unhappy with Dennis Rodman. Michael's saying he is not flaking out, he just wants attention, and we are providing him with attention. When we go to work, he has to go to work. Let's face it, Rodman's had some fun the past few weeks. The birthday celebration that wound up in 3 states. He doesn't start in games 1 and 2. Is there a chance right now that Rodman is doing a little pouting?
Probably, I don't know. I just know that when you go out and you just play hard, whatever the situation is. First game they played Indiana was an outstanding game by Rodman, I think, in all phases. His energy level brought the Bulls to another height, I thought, in that game. Tonight, basically, you didn't see the Dennis the rebounding, but I think, once again, I give Indiana credit for taking away their strengths. I don't think Dennis went out purposely not to have a good game. Now, maybe showing up late or whatever it is, what else is new? That's what happens when you allow the rules to be bent a little bit. That's what happens to you. But when you're winning, that's all right. As soon as you start losing, you take notice to those little things. Yeah. That's why I say, to make rules for everybody and stick to them, and you have a better form of action here. So, as long as the Bulls win and go out and do things in the way they have to do and make adjustments, that's fine.
If the ball club are 35 and 47, then might be a different story.
No doubt.
We continue with Live in the Locker Room. Stay with us, still a long way to go.
Fox Sports Chicago has your ticket to Bulls playoff games, and not just on TV. Watch Chet and Norm in the game room for details on how you and a friend can win Bulls playoff tickets. The playoffs play on Fox Sports Chicago.
You're watching Live in the Locker Room on Fox Sports Chicago.
In 2 ball games, he has been thrown off the top rope by Scottie Pippen. Let's join Indiana's Mark Jackson.
No, I think everything else is fine except the turnovers. I'm doing other things on the floor, the assists, the rebounds. It's just careless mistakes at crucial periods. That's hurting us.
Mark, it seems like when Pippen's on you, it seems like the rest of the guys are standing around. Is that they're waiting to you to get into your position, or is it just a disruption Pippen is?
Well, we have to make an adjustment. I think if you allow a guy to play the D that he's playing, it makes it awfully tough. You know, Jalen Rose plays that type D and gets 3 fouls in the first half. So that's the difference.
How much of it is Pippen and how much of it is you guys, though?
He's doing a great job, but that shouldn't affect us the way it has. And give them credit, but we have to get ready for Game 3 now.
Why has it? Is it all mental? Is it all physical? Is it mental as well? Why is it?
Well, it's a combination of everything. It's not just his D. He's playing great D, but they also have a guy sitting there playing center field, waiting, almost like a safety. We just have to adjust.
Can you stop Jordan at all?
I don't know if anybody can stop him. We want to try to contain him. I think it's an embarrassment when Reggie Miller gets abused the way that he does and does not get the calls, does not get to the line. They're grabbing him, they're shoving him, they're hitting him. We got to figure it out.
Mark, your coach.
Mark Jackson bringing up, I think, a valid point. While Pippen has played outstanding basketball against Mark, not good ball movement, not good movement away from the basketball by the Indiana bench. That's something we'll talk about with Norm Van Leer when we come back right here on Live in the Locker Room. Don't forget the total package. Fox Sports News follows Live in the Locker Room, headlining the following stories. Mark McGuire goes yard 3 times tonight. The Wings try to close out the Blues in the NHL Western semifinals. And of course, James Worthy takes an in-depth look at tonight's Game 2 of the Bulls-Pacers series. And as we continue, we take an in-depth look at Bill Wennington.
And back in the Bulls locker room, Bill Wennington alongside. And Billy, obviously you guys had a defensive intensity tonight. I thought Sunday was really good, but tonight I don't think I've ever seen a team attack defensively like you guys did. You didn't let them set any tempos.
Well, in the first half, I think we let ourselves down a little bit. We didn't come up with the intensity we needed, so we knew we had to step it up in the second half, and we were able to achieve that and really force a lot of turnovers. I think most of the turnovers happened for us in the second half, and the guys just went out there and really in the third quarter supplied a lot of energy out there and forced them to make some bad passes and turnovers.
The points off turnovers were huge. The fast break points were huge. You guys got a lot of easy points, or at least what you call easy points, and got to the free throw line a bunch. How big of a difference is that in a tight game like this?
That's a huge difference. When a team is right on your trail all the time, the easier it is for you to score. And not that playing defense is easy, but you get easy baskets, not having to move the ball around and not letting their defense get set up on you to knock you out of rhythm. It opens up the flow, and you guys get layups. It creates a lot more energy for the guys that are out there playing, the guys on the bench. So every time you put someone in, there's a lot of energy involved in the game. The offense seems to just run better when you get some easy ones every now and then.
First half, Tony kind of struggled. Didn't seem to have the aggression offensively, didn't get to the basket. Then he came out in the second half, and it was like a completely different player. And he was a huge difference in the second half offensively.
defensively?
Well, we tugged on his cape a little bit at halftime and got him going. But he did. He played a little more aggressive, going to the basket in the second half. And that really helps us out when Tony's doing that. He's going to the basket aggressively, getting some shots up, getting fouled, going to the foul line. And that starts to open a lot of things up. And John Ligmanowski just threw his diaper at us. I can't believe it. At least it wasn't dirty.
Yeah, that's the thing I was concerned about. Hey, first game, 3 steals. Tonight, 3 baskets, and you shot the ball pretty well. You obviously felt comfortable in doing what you need to do in the offense. You set that little screen, and then you roll to the open baseline shot.
It's nice. It can open up the defense. They're really jumping a lot, so we're running a lot of 53s, which is a screen roll for Michael, and he's been able to take it off, but they're concentrating on jumping on him, so Michael got it back to me a couple times tonight and hit some jump shots. And that's what I do. That's, I think, why I'm here, to hit the open jump shot. So if they get me the ball in those positions, I have to shoot it.
And finally, Scottie, we've talked about his defense all night long. MJ was terrific, especially down the stretch.
Michael is outstanding. He never ceases to amaze us out there, and we're on the bench, and he's just driving to the basket, hitting shots with 2 or 3 guys coming up on him and jumping at it, and he can hang onto the ball in the air for that extra second longer, let the hands go by and just release the ball, and guys are hitting him on the way up. He's able to regain balance in the air and still shoot the ball with a nice soft touch, and it's just outstanding.
Fun to watch, partner.
A lot of fun.
Thanks, Billy. That's Bill Wennington in the Chicago Bulls locker room. Now let's go back to you guys in the studio.
When does Rusty LaRue make his appearance?